What's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan, Chris. Today we have a special show, special guest, Alex Donno from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Over there, guys, if you're not subscribed and watching these channels on YouTube, make sure to check out the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Guys are doing it great heat content. Ethan's over there. I mean, guys, you're missing out. You really are. If you're watching my show and you're subscribed to my channel and you're not subscribed over there, you're going to find out why you need to be watching it. My special guest, Alex Donno. I can't wait to bring him in. But before I do, guys, let's do the rundown real quick. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. Please, please, please. We have Tonk TMI Tuesday coming at you every Tuesday. And then at 9, right after that, we have Mike on the Mic, open mic, and drop the mic on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 10. Thursdays is Cash and Tickets, the betting show with Brandon the Bookie and Big Kev. Right after that, we have color commentary, late night color commentary. And always, you guys can find the Fins Tailgate, El Capitan. You know where it is. Just look for the episodes. I'll put them in as early as I can. If you guys want to donate to the channel, please do. It's the Cash App is the Fins Tailgate, Venmo the Fins Tailgate. All donations are much appreciated. So, guys, without further ado, Alex!
El Capitan, Chris.
What's happening, my brother?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here, man. And you've been, thank you for plugging 5 Reasons and my show as well. You've been so supportive, man. And I'm happy to be on. And you got a cool thing, man. I need to learn how to do some video editing and learn from some of your intros, man, because I am almost computer illiterate when it comes to the video side of it. So you could be my Mr. Miyagi, right? I can learn from you.
Listen, I don't want to take credit for that. I got a guy. So I know I make it look good, but I got a guy. He's one of my oldest friends. I can help you out potentially. He's just a great friend, man. So he's part of the team. It's always good to have a guy, man. You got to know a guy. You know what I'm saying? So, Alex, first off, for all the guys that don't know you, which I don't see how that's possible, guys. How do you not know Alex at this point? Let's get real, right? Alex was you've been on WQAM. You're still with them. Matter of fact, you were there yesterday, right? Doing the show yesterday, filling in for Hawk and Crowder. Love Hawk and Crowder show. Great guys. You're a University of Miami grad, correct? And
Correct.
so, yes, that's not, you got your graduation. And I know you're a diehard Canes fan. I love the Canes. We were talking a little bit backstage. I'm super, super stoked about Mario and Josh Gladys. I think did you see that introductory he did to the
I
team,
want to
the
run through
video?
a wall for that guy.
Oh my goodness, buddy looks legit, right? I can't wait. He looks legit, man. And then Kevin Steely, which, it makes sense to me to have an elder statesman in because Mario's going to be on the offense. He's got his young offensive coordinator from Michigan, did a lot of work in Alabama with the wide receivers. I expect a whole new Canes team, guys. I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, the Canes are really they're my first love, and that doesn't take anything away from my love for the Dolphins, my love for the Heat, all that good stuff. And I'm a huge Inter Milan fan. I'm a big time soccer junkie as well. But no, man, my deepest emotional ties, and it was, I did go to the school like you mentioned, but my parents worked for the university long before I ever went there. I just grew up completely indoctrinated on Canes football, Canes basketball and baseball here. They've been completely indoctrinated. What they're doing right now, it's unbelievable, right? And we're actually, we're still yet to see how it translates to success on the field. But even back when Miami was dominating college football, you're talking 80s, 90s, early 2000s, the sport was just so different because it wasn't like an arms race like it was then, right? The prices you pay nowadays for great coaching is so inflated. The price you pay nowadays for great facilities and for all the digital resources you need to recruit, even resources like having access to private jets and helicopters, that's the kind of stuff that gives people like Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney a big edge when they're out there recruiting. Like, back when Miami was dominating the sport, you didn't really have a whole lot of that in place. Like, nobody really cared what your weight room looked like. Nobody really cared whether you had access to a chopper and a private jet or not. And then just, Miami being, a smaller private institution who they've had money, like they've had wealthy donors for a long time. They just haven't really chosen to invest in the athletic program because they haven't given them inspiration to invest in the athletic program. Right. And so all of a sudden, I think after basically 20 years of mediocrity, and it's funny to me how the timeline of Hurricanes mediocrity and Dolphins mediocrity, it's been very much the same, right? It's gone back about 20 years. So after 20 years of mediocrity, the Miami boosters and administration has finally come to the realization that we can't just hang around, right? That we're not going to be profitable if we're just mid-tier.
They can't live off the brand forever, man.
No, they can't live off the brand forever. So they finally realized that we got to go out there. And if we want to step back into the glory that we had 20 years ago, we've got to bring in a high-level coach and a high-level staff because it's not just about who your head coach is. It's about who your coordinators are, and I think they're hitting home runs there. It's about who your position coaches are. I think they're hitting home runs in that regard as well, and that's what it's going to take to win in the ACC and in college football. And they go out and they splash on Mario Cristobal. They go out and they make a splash on these assistants like Josh Gaddis, who you talked about coming in. They're even talking about, working on building, a new stadium near campus. The
Oh, man, that would be so awesome, man. They need to do that. It would be great because, I think we're missing that in the atmosphere for this fan base. You got to have a home. And I get it. It's nice sharing, the stadium with the Dolphins because it's such a beautiful facility. And listen, they roll out the red carpet for the alums. I've went to the last home game this past year against Vodtech, took my son to his very first game ever. We went to the night game, had a blast. Nice. But it's not like when I used to live in Central Florida and I've seen the Gators. And if you go to Gainesville, the whole town is built for the Gators. It's literally a Gators town. And that, even when you go to Orlando and the UCF, they've got a whole sectioned off area for this fandom to live and take a different life. The Canes have, been a Canes thing, as you know, it's a Canes thing. So that's why
Mhm.
it touches our soul. But with this younger generation coming with the mediocrity over 20 years, we got to have somewhere where the flag is permanently staked in the ground.
Yeah.
God willing, they figure out a way to make a real super home for these guys, because I believe it'll put us in the next stratosphere. And with this coaching staff, they're planning on staying local. I mean, the homegrown talent is enough alone. If you want to be real, I think 1/3 of the NFL is from South Florida,
Yep.
not just Florida, South Florida. So, we play football and we eat, breathe, and sleep that stuff. I mean, you go to anywhere in South Florida in a strip mall, they got a sports medicine scientist over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so the school has failed the program in a lot of ways. They've put a lot of money into what and good things. There are doctors and biology places. You can find them all over the state, man. You really can. It's time that what made them famous, they don't lose it. And I think the Mario Cristobal is the best thing. The energy alone that he is bringing makes me feel different than I have in the past. It really does.
And you touched on recruiting and all the South Florida-based players that end up making it big in the NFL. I think that's why Mario Cristobal is such a perfect hire. There are some people, and I think some of it's fair, who kind of criticize him at times as a game day coach. Like, you can point to some examples at Oregon. Wait, he should have used this time out here, and he didn't. And why did he challenge this and that? Like, I think that stuff, it matters more in the NFL than it does in college football, because in college football, recruiting and building a staff are the most important things. And he's excellent at both of those things. And, Cristobal, I remember when he worked for Nick Saban years ago, when he was Nick Saban's offensive line coach, and he became Alabama's head recruiter. And Nick Saban basically handed the keys to their recruiting department over to Mario Cristobal. And he said it then: this guy is the best recruiter in the country, right?
Yep.
He did a nice job even from Oregon. Like, I mean, in Oregon, you can't recruit much, if any, of the South Florida talent, because they just don't want to go that far away from home. I mean, it's one thing going to the Southeast, going to the Pacific Northwest is an entirely different thing. And there's not a lot of local kids in Oregon. Like, Justin Herbert was like the one guy who actually, grew up in that. You're having to dip into California and Texas, and like the Midwest to find all of your talent there. And so you add in a guy who, recruited this area, not the same type of players, but the same high schools when he was at FIU, recruited the same type of high schools and the same type of players and even better players when he was at Alabama. And he's a University of Miami alum. So he understands, the culture of the university. Like, I think it checks off so many of those boxes. And so, yeah, keeping more of those players home, because a lot of these players who, grow up, from Orlando down, right? If you consider that to be like the southern area of Florida, yeah, okay, you see a lot of these kids go to places like Alabama and Clemson and Florida State, because sometimes it's just hard to say no to those offers. But these guys are looking for reasons to stay. Like, they're looking for reasons to stay. Yeah, like, maybe you got a few players here and there who have such toxic home lives that they're like, I need to get out of here. But for the most part, they want to be nearby mom. They want to be nearby their dad. They want to be
home
nearby
cooking
their siblings. Absolutely. They want to be able to head home for a weekend, to see their family. So it's like, these guys are looking for reasons to stay. And I think we actually have somebody who can give not just the 3 and the 4 stars, but even the 5 stars reasons to stay here.
Yep. I mean, listen, it's already been a shift in the pantheon of how this team is operated at this point. I'm impressed. I'm excited. And I'll be at least one of these games coming up this year. I got to see it up close, man. It's going to be great. Guys that are in the comments, as you guys know, before we continue, I am giving away the Tua card today.
Wow.
Yep, giving it away.
Woo.
To enter into the Tua card contest, you have to put hashtag TFTG in the comment section, guys. You have to put hashtag TFTG. It'll automatically sign you up. And towards the end of the video, we will do the drawing. It'll roll it around and it'll pick one of you guys randomly. Do you have StreamYard, Donno? Is that what you use?
Yeah, I do have StreamYard. Yeah,
they have a feature where you can do things like this, where randomly, I'll let you know. I'll text it to you. I'll send you the link so you can do it for future giveaways. It's pretty awesome, right? If you put a hashtag in there and they put it in, it automatically puts them in for the drawing. And then it'll just randomly show all the faces and then it'll pick one. So it's random as can get. There's no favoritism. I can't set it up. It's just done by the computer. I'm not going to give it to someone in particular. So it's pretty awesome.
I know Big John Stud wants that Tua card.
He
I
does.
know he's jonesing for that Tua card. I need a little extra toilet paper at home, so I'm going to try to win it as well.
Yes. You got to clean up the backside, brother. You got to keep it fresh for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, let's move on to the Heat. The Heat are number 1 in the East right now. They just beat the Pelicans. I think it was Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think it was. It was Thursday, and they played tonight again. Yeah, Thursday.
They played tonight.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything at the trade deadline, but did they need to do anything at the trade deadline?
No. The only thing that maybe they could have done, but there wasn't the right market for it, was to try and get a real backup 4, because obviously the Markieff Morris has left a little bit of a hole in that roster, but they've done fine with the power rotation that they have, and they've done fine essentially playing positionless basketball and bringing guys up from the G League, right? Using undrafted players. The improvement I've seen this year from Gabe Vincent, for example, is astounding, right? I mean, heading into
Gabe
the season,
is an amazing ball handler, bro. Wow. What a step out of, into the light, and the moment hasn't been too big for him, facilitating the ball back out to the, to the top of the key. It's been beautiful to watch, bro.
It's been amazing. Like, I didn't really think that this guy could play at that level. I mean, he looked pretty good over the summer for Team Nigeria, but then like every time I'd seen him in the NBA, I was very underwhelmed. Everybody knows how great Max Strus has been. I mean, he has been an absolute revelation. That one I'm not so surprised about, because I tracked him like during summer league and he was fantastic. Caleb Martin, awesome. Like, really, Omer Yurtseven has done some good stuff this year. Like, really the only guy that they've had to like bring up, from the bowels of the bench that they haven't really been able to count on is KZ Okpala. Like, pretty much we've had meaningful Udonis Haslem minutes this year. Even like everybody has been able to contribute. So yeah, for that reason, the way that you said it, did the Heat need to do anything at the trade deadline? No, they didn't, because I am very much of the mind that you don't over tinker when things are working. Like, why you had a team that really has no business being the number 1 seed in the East, yet here we are. And I say they have no business being there because they've just never been healthy. They look healthier right now than they've been for really since November, right? Because they had so much adversity. They have no business being first place in the East, and you've been able to get meaningful minutes from almost everybody you've put into the rotation. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, you can understand why teams like Brooklyn and Philly go out there and make a blockbuster trade, because they had unhappy superstars and it was best for both of them to move these guys. Miami didn't have to do anything like that. I mean,
no.
Like last year, I thought that they did, right? Like last year at the trade deadline, we were all kind of counting down to the deadline. Are they going to make a move for Kyle Lowry? They didn't, but they end up getting Kyle Lowry as a free agent, so it works out in the end. They did make the move for Victor Oladipo last year, which didn't work out last year because he only played like 4 games before he got hurt, unfortunately. And you can look at Oladipo this year, who's like supposedly like this close to being able to come in and play. He's been working out with the team for a while now. You can kind of look at that as your trade deadline acquisition, right? Because
I heard you say that yesterday, and I was like, oh, man, that's the perfect way to put it. Because, I mean, as far as rotation goes, the Heat culture's live, boy. It is alive. These young guys are, I mean, and I heard you yesterday talking about the Lakers and LeBron, and how LeBron's Heat culture has finally faded away because the Lakers look like they might miss the playoffs. I mean, they're just falling apart. And now LeBron is showing his true colors, the selfishness, the non-team atmosphere. When Butler was brought in here, that's what people thought he was going to be, all about Butler. And this Heat culture's for real. And people who don't understand it, it kind of goes to the Canes thing. You got to just know. You got to just know. It's beautiful, brother.
Yeah, and I'll say one more thing on the Heat. Like, this is going to be a team, and they might end up the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, maybe. No one's going to want to face this team in the playoffs because
not healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Because when healthy, great. Even if they're not fully healthy, everyone knows how deep that they are. I think really the the top threat. And, people can argue that they're better than the Heat. Like, they've got better championship odds, the defending champs, Milwaukee, right? Like, I think that's the toughest matchup. You've also got, like, if the Heat were to have to face a team like Cleveland or Toronto, first or second round, those are just tough stylistic matchups for Miami because of their length. Like Cleveland, especially, like everybody on Cleveland is like 6'8" or taller. Like, just a tough matchup due to their length. And Toronto kind of similar to that. So there are some tough matchups out there. But I really think you look at the Eastern Conference, and the Bucks and the Heat, in no particular order, I think are the two teams to beat. And I'd be almost surprised if it doesn't end up being, the two of them in the Eastern. Yeah, going to be exactly. Mike on the mic knows exactly where I'm getting at here. It's going to be really the East is going to go through Miami or Milwaukee.
Yeah, I feel very good about the Heat. I always do. Let's get real. They're the one thing us Miami fans can really always kind of, yes, we're okay. We feel comfort from the Heat. They've given us lots of comfort with the dysfunction from the other franchises around here. So it is going to be a great one. All right. So with that, tonight, important night, UFC 271. Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, is going against Whitaker, the Reaper, the rematch. As excited as I am to see that, the co-main event with the Black Beast and Bam Bam, I can't wait to see those fireworks too, man. I mean, it's gonna be a slugfest right before it, and then it's gonna be, I don't know. All right, Alex, I don't see any way that the last style bender loses this fight, man. I think
I'm gonna sound crazy, but I think he might lose. It's tough,
really,
because. And I understand why you or anyone would say that, because these guys have fought before, and they fought back in 2019, and it wasn't close. Like,
no.
really, Whitaker, he just completely off. I thought that mentally he approached the fight all wrong. He looked nervous. He was trying to be super, super aggressive. It's like, I almost felt like Whitaker, the first fight, it was like he was beaten before he even stepped into the octagon, because it was like, I got to get this guy out of here. Like, he thought, I can't just be patient and fight my fight for 5 rounds. He's going to pick me apart. So I've got to be super aggressive. I've got to get inside, and I've got to knock him out. And that was the worst possible thing you can do, because Israel Adesanya is a great counter striker. So if you overcommit, you play right into his game. So right there, Whitaker, he needs to approach this fight completely differently. And I expect he's smart enough that he's going to do that. And like, anytime you get a rematch,
it's always harder.
Yes and no, because for the guy who lost the first fight, you can say it's harder because the guy who won probably has a built-in mental advantage, right? Because I already know I can beat this guy, I already did it. But then for the guy who lost, the onus is on him to change his approach, right? And he knows what didn't work for him in the first fight, and he can adapt to it. Whereas the guy who won the fight, how do you approach it? Like, do I adapt? Do I just approach the fight the same way I did the first time? Do I try to overthink it and try to predict what he's going to do? So it almost feels like there's kind of an advantage for Whitaker, because he can come up with a completely new game plan, whereas Adesanya probably shouldn't. So I think for Robert Whitaker, who is tough as nails, man, and he's got a tremendous jab. He's the shorter guy. He's given up some reach. He's got one of the best jabs in the UFC. Instead of darting in, trying to throw haymakers, he's got to use the jab. He's also a low-key, really good wrestler, and people don't realize that. He was an Australian national champion wrestler, I think, back in 2017. And in his last couple of fights, he's been using his wrestling a little bit more. The one time we saw Adesanya get beaten was he lost to wrestling against Jan Blachowicz. Now, Whitaker's not as big and strong as Jan Blachowicz, so I don't know if it's going to work exactly the same way. But man, I think it's going to be a closer fight. Like in the first fight, Adesanya put him out in the second round. It wasn't really that much of a contest. I think this is going to be a 5-round type of fight. And I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to put my money yet on that one. I'll probably look for maybe over 4.5 rounds, because I think it's going to end up going to a decision this time around. But I think Whitaker is going to be a lot more competitive, and it may end up being, I'm not going to say a boring fight because these guys are so high level that you're going to see
Ridiculous.
but it's going to be more of a chess match. I think it's going to be a lot more of a chess match than the first one. And I think Whitaker can pull it off. With Adesanya, I can understand why he's a favorite, but he's like a 2-1 favorite, which is a lot. I think even more than 2-1, like that's a lot to put down in a fight that's this competitive. So I'm thinking of maybe going like over 4.5 rounds, looking for a couple of props here and there. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet.
I am, listen, I think Whitaker might lose to a decision as long as he doesn't, if he doesn't chase like he did their first matchup. You're absolutely right. He felt like he needed to apply the pressure. It was not at best in his game plan. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to be trying to bring him to the ground, use his wrestling. Like you said, it's going to be the best way to go about it. Adesanya's got those strikes, I haven't seen strikes like that since Silva. So Anderson Silva. So you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a guy throw a punch where he does like a hook like that. I mean, it's just insane. So
and let me talk about the Tuivasa against
the
Derrick Lewis fight. Like I almost like
the shoe man.
Oh, Mr. Shuey. That's like the people's main event there. It's going to be such a fun fight. I'm probably going to go under a round and a half on that one. Like I think
that ain't making it out of the first, bro. Someone's going to sleep.
Exactly, dude. Like
he's got I think he has 10. The shoe man, he's Bam Bam's got 10 out of his 12 victories are by knockout.
Yep.
And the Black Beast is the champion of knockouts. So someone's going to sleep.
Yeah, and if this fight doesn't end in the first round, then Derrick Lewis will probably win because Derrick Lewis, he's the better overall fighter, better wrestler, better grappler. He's fought in bigger fights and he's fought tough. I mean, he's got a win over Francis Ngannou, which is incredible. Like he's only a couple of people in the world can say that. So he's the better overall fighter, but these guys are going to brawl in the first round. And I think that if Tuivasa is going to win this fight, he's going to get him out of there in the first round. And I think if they get to the second round, Tuivasa is going to be a little bit more tired because Derrick Lewis, he's better at conserving his energy. They're both like chubby dudes. Like the cardio is not the strong suit for either guy, but Lewis is just a lot better at conserving his cardio than Tuivasa is. But I think Tuivasa probably hits a little bit harder. So I'm kind of liking his chances in the first round. And you mentioned he's Mr. Shoe. So this apparently is a thing in Australia, like for drunkards. Like you're out at the bar, the boot, like you pour a beer into somebody else's boot or shoe, which is disgusting. But you pour
ultimate sign of respect if you think about it.
Seriously, ultimate sign of like I want to get some kind of an infection. Like I don't know, like you pour a beer into somebody's shoe and you drink it. They call it the shoey. So that's his celebration. Every time Tuivasa wins, he's been winning a lot lately. I think like 4 or 5 straight fights he's won. Every time he wins, he does the shoey. He drinks a beer out of the shoe. So I hope we get to see that celebration. But both these guys are really good on the microphone. So whoever wins, they're going to have a good one. I think I'm leaning to Tuivasa, but this one's tough to call as well. Like both of these top 2 fights for me are tough to call.
Bro, those elbows he throws too when he gets in close the distance. Tuivasa throws a vicious elbow, very underrated. I mean, ugly. I seen him I forget who it was. He put somebody's lights out, just folded the guy with an elbow. Did you see the pregame or the pre-fight thing where he gave everybody the shoes? He's got like a new shoey like thing. It's like a beer shotgun shoey now. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. It's like made out of like rubber and stuff like that. Derrick goes, I ain't putting that bitch on my mouth. I ain't putting my mouth on that. He said it was pretty funny. Before we get on to Dolphins talk, and I know most of the people in the stream are excited about us talking about the Dolphins, and we have somebody in the back that's going to join us for a little bit of it once we get it rolling. Guys, make sure 2 things. Number 1, the Tua cards being given away. To get in the Tua card contest, you got to put hashtag TFTG in the comments. So if you want to win the Tua card or have a chance to win it, you have to put hashtag TFTG in the comments. It has to happen. But before we move on, Alex, I have a question about some of your radio days. Have you ever It's going to be hard to get this out. Have you ever met someone that mispronounced their cat's name?
Oh, bro. Oh, the old John Renshaw experience, man.
Yes, please, for
That was
those that
incredible.
don't know,
Yeah.
can you give them a little bit of detail of how that happened and like the story, if you would?
Yeah, I mean, really nice guy, just crazy, like out of his mind. Good times partying with him. Yeah, he was for less than a year. It was probably like, I don't know, 8-9 months. He was doing the midday shows about almost 10 years ago. Probably it was like 2013, I think. John Renshaw was hosting the midday show on WQAM, and I was one of his producers and his update guy, kind of his co-host in those days. And yeah, man, this guy liked to party, and this one day specifically, he's just a little off. Like I don't know what was going on, but he was a little bit incoherent, and he was on the air for 3 hours that day because, like, I don't know, nobody thought like, hey, maybe we should like pull this guy off the show, and it was like 3
There was no
hours.
checks and balances for the talent in the building.
Well, I think what happened that day was literally all the management, and there were a lot of management in the building. They all had this big meeting that was like going on downstairs. They were all in the conference room. So nobody who was like in any
Just
position
slipped through
of
the
authority,
cracks.
completely slipped through the cracks. Like nobody in any position of authority that day had any idea what was happening. And I'm like sitting there next to him. And at one point during the show, he's just like, I see him. He's kind of looking off into the corner of the room. There's like a shadow in the corner of the room. And he looked a little distracted. He goes, "Is that my cat over there? Is that?" And he was like dead serious. Like this wasn't a joke or a bit. He was like, "Is that my cat over there?" And
I love how you didn't break character. You went right into professionalism mode. You went right into professionalism mode. You tried to get him off the topic, but then he was staying on it. And you go, "What's your cat's name?"
Yeah.
It was like, the best.
I don't know if that's my cat. So my cat's name is Nova. It's like, I'm sorry if I didn't recognize my cat. Like he
said, if I mispronounce my cat's name, I'm sorry. Is what he said.
That's what he said. If I mispronounce my cat's name, I'm sorry. And then I go, and I'm just like, you got problems, bro. And that, and also like that was probably about an hour into the show, and he hadn't seen any cats to that point, but it was an hour into the show, and he was like incoherent. So I was a little frustrated by that point. Like I
bet you're over here trying to be a professional.
Like, you got problems, bro.
He's getting delusional. It was I know that sometimes QAM they play that when they have like an off day. So if you guys aren't checking it out, see if you can find it. It's just a hilarious.
Joe Rose and Hawk and Crowder, they love those clips. Like,
oh my god, I love that. I love it too. It's hilarious.
It's unbelievable. And it was like, and it was funny because I know that, John himself, once the day wore on and like, he realized like what had happened, like he was like, I hope like don't post a podcast for the show today. Let's pretend this never happened.
No way, bro. It's radio. You gotta, that's gold.
That's the thing. And like the next morning, Joe Rose does like 2 hours on it, like the next morning. So it made him feel terrible, and I can understand because it was like he had to like relive that embarrassment like over and over and over again.
You should take pride in it. It's a radio gold moment, bro.
Right? It is.
In my shames, I take pride in my shame, bro.
Yeah, and he's been out of the market like 9 years now, but the clips they still play on. It's his legacy.
So we'll move on to a little bit of Dolphins talk again, guys. Hashtag TFTG to get a chance at the Tua card, guys. You know what I'm saying? Mint condition. Before we get on to all the coaching hires and stuff like that, and we'll bring our guy in the back end too. Before we do that, you made a good point about Mike McDaniel making the smartest move. And it's getting into the heart of all of the media members by putting out the proper spread. And I was listening to you on QAM yesterday, and I caught also on Donno Daily 5 Reasons Sports Network, guys. Make sure to check them out. You have something against sprinkles? What's wrong with sprinkles, bro? I'm a sprinkles guy. I like sprinkles.
No,
I know it's just wax colored with flavoring, but I can deal with them.
Here's my take on sprinkles. We were playing it up a little bit on Hawk and Crowder, even though like Hawk wasn't in there with me, but Hawk hates sprinkles.
I know he does.
He's got this like irrational hatred for sprinkles. For me, like, dude, I don't think sprinkles accomplish anything. Like it's like when you go to like a fancy restaurant and there's like parsley like over your side dish. It's garnish. Like to me, it's like, I don't know, like sprinkles to me, I don't care if they're there or they're not, but like children love them. Like my 4-year-old son, if you put sprinkles on anything, he just gets twice as excited. Like if you have a cupcake with no sprinkles, like, okay, cupcake with sprinkles, it's like this crazy sugar rush. So we make fun a little bit of Solana, because Solana, he's like a 4-year-old at heart. I mean, he's almost 30, but he's got the palate of a 4-year-old kid. He loves sprinkles. So I think that they make fun of him a little bit for that. But you talked about the spread that Mike McDaniel, they had his favorite desserts that were out there at the media conference the other day, which again, like the way that you win over the South Florida media is through their stomachs, man. I haven't covered Dolphins practices in a few years, but I was in the building for years covering practices every day. And I can remember going back to like I started covering the team during the Cam Cameron year, so maybe all this is my fault. That might just be bad luck.
Cam Cameron have like chicken nuggets there or something like that.
I don't even remember them serving food back then. Like back then you had like 2-a-days, so you would have like a morning practice, and then the media guys would like go out and grab lunch like somewhere in Davie, then they come. Like I don't even think they serve. Every now and then they'd serve like they'd order like Papa John's pizza or something, but like they didn't really serve food, and it wasn't very good. And then I think it was around the time when Adam Gase came in. I don't think this was Gase's call, by the way, so don't give him credit.
No way.
Around the time Adam Gase came in, like, I don't know, the Dolphins media relations, they started to actually serve like really good food. Like they have chefs there at the facility, they prepare food for the players, but then they would also prepare food for the media, where they would make like, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches some days, like they'd make like burritos, and it was all like really, really good food. And I'm telling you, man, the coverage got a lot more positive from the media, the better the food got, right? When there was no food, everything was, oh, the Dolphins are terrible, awful, like all the beat writers going after him. The food got better, the coverage got better. And I think Mike McDaniel already understands that. So he had like his 2 favorite desserts, the Oreo sundae with hot fudge. That sounds fantastic. Then he had like the caramel swirl ice cream with the sprinkles. Like it's weak. I mean, if I had been there in person, I would have gone with the Oreo.
I gotta disagree with you.
Okay.
The caramel swirl is where I would make my home. I like Oreos. Yeah, I do like cookies and cream ice cream. It's just something about, I don't know. Maybe it's the difference in textures or something. It's just like, ice cream melts in my mouth. Now I got something else in there that doesn't melt. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. So, and if I get into, sometimes when I'm eating, I'll just, get Neanderthal at it. So if I got to be careful, I'll end up choking on one of these Oreos trying to shovel down some, ice cold, stuff. So let's listen, Mike McDaniel. I like a little bit of how, when he's candid, I enjoy how he gets the canned answers. This is our 4th coach, first-time head coach in like 10 years. So I can hear the script at this point. But when he does his script line and then he starts talking, I can see why people like him. He seems very likable. He has this sort of confidence about him, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not who I wanted. I wanted a seasoned head coach. Such a young team, another scandal is afoot in this organization. It would have made all the sense in the world to bring in just a seasoned head coach, and now with Boyer being the defensive coordinator, and I made this point last night, that already the narrative from the to and on is starting to switch, that Boyer was held back by Flores, that Flores was standing in the way of Boyer's brilliance and stuff like that. But I remember not even a month ago, we were saying that Flores sabotaged the team
Right.
because he let Boyer call plays and didn't call the plays.
Bingo.
So
and I think the long and the short of it is, I don't know if anybody really knows, right? Like I think like the long and the short of it is, it's like the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of that. Because you're right, I've heard both of those narratives. Like the narrative now is, well, listen, this Brian Flores who, and by the way, like I agree, like from an offensive side of the football, I believe Flores messed a lot of things up. Right, the staffing decisions he made, the offensive coordinator experiment he had was a complete and utter joke. And I thought he did not do Tua Tagovailoa any favors whatsoever. But
None.
then on the defensive side of the football, it's a little bit of a different narrative, because that's Flores's realm. Like that's what he knows. That's what he specializes in. And you're totally right. I've seen both of those narratives. Now the anti-flow narrative is, oh, well, how could Josh Boyer do anything when he had this jerk, micromanaging him and sabotaging him and all that? When, yeah, you're right. The narrative a couple months ago was, oh, the defense was so bad the first half of the season. That was because Flo just let Boyer do everything. And then when Flo stepped in and got more hands-on and started calling plays and putting his finger, that's when the defense got better. So nobody really knows for sure. Like, everyone loves to have their theories. Everyone loves to pretend they know exactly what's going on. Nobody knows.
Well, I'm going to bring in our guest that we have going to stop in here with us. I know you have a little bit more time left, so I want to bring in Mickey Harrison. What's happening? Listen, we got Mickey Harrison in here. What's up, Big John?
The biggest Flo fan I know, by the way, right down there.
Yep, he does love Flores. I do know that. I seen the picture in his wallet, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've seen it. I know he's seen it because he's been to my crib. So
yeah,
But first of all, if Tuanon said that, Tuanon's got to shut the fuck up. That's bullshit. let's keep it real, man. All right. If anybody knows everything I've been saying, everything everybody heard, I've been saying this since week 5, and Donno knew everything I was saying, and Donno couldn't say shit, but he saw it just boom, 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 one after the other, like dropping dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't steal your wallet. Color, you're broke, man. Shut up. No one had took your wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuanon's full of shit. That guy's got to take off the mask and show us who he really is, man.
I know.
I actually know who it is, but I can't reveal. Actually, a lot of people think it's Big John Stud, but it's not Big John Stud. I know who Tuanon is.
I don't think Big John Stud's got time for Tuanon nonsense, bro. So I do like the John Embry hire, especially with all the great work with tight ends and everything he's done. But is there going to be he's not the OC, right? He's the assistant head coach. And I like bringing Wes Welker back in town. That I'm all about that.
I told you that was coming. Coming.
Oh, listen, you did. And I'm excited. I told you I'd be excited to see him come here, especially if he teaches that route running ability to everybody. Man, could you imagine if some way he could teach like Preston Williams to run those routes like that big frame? Oh my goodness gracious, bro. Preston Williams actually
I have a question. Over under 80%, you think you can actually teach Mike Gesicki to block?
Under.
Yeah, I gotta take the under all day.
That's why I don't think he'll be here next year. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I see. Listen, Smythe needs to be signed, and so does Gesicki. I've said this long ago. Let's go for the 2-for-1 deal. If we can get the 2-for-1 and get them both for like $14 million, a year on the contract, I like that, especially because I want to keep Smythe around here. I get what you're saying.
You really think this is mad enough? That doesn't work.
What are you talking about, bro? Works from where I'm sitting.
Get out of here, bro.
They don't have the same agent, do they? He's gonna be like, yeah, we'll give you a 2-for-1.
First of all, they live in each other's house and stuff like they hang out all the time. And I mean, you could be like, listen, we're gonna pay you $9 million a year, Gesicki, which I think is a fair rate for him and his production. And then we'll give the other 5 to Durham, and we'll make it incentive based. If this cap hit can somewhere come around $12 million, and then it's all incentive on the other end, I think it could work good. But
I don't know, man. I think Mike Gesicki wants the bag. I think he wants.
Everybody
to make
wants
the bag.
the bag.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
wants
think
the bag.
like if any guy is maybe going to take a slight haircut with the pay, maybe Durham Smythe, but like Mike Gesicki, I think is going to have no shortage of interested teams. I mean, and they could slap the franchise tag on him, but that's super expensive, and then they're going to fight over: is he a wide receiver? Is he a tight end? And how do you decide?
He can fight all he wants. He can fight all he wants. He's not getting the wide receiver tag. If Jimmy Graham couldn't get it,
that's
Jimmy
a good
Graham
point.
Jimmy Graham is 45 times better than Mike Gesicki.
How much is the tight end tag? I forget. It's like 12 and a half, 14 and a half. Like I can't remember.
I think one's like 12 something. The other one's like 17, 18.
Okay, yeah. So I think
the wide receiver is 18.
The tight end one. Yeah, I think the tight end one is the one that's like in the 12s. It's like it's a lot of money. So I don't know if they're going to want to tag him, but I think he's going to want to get the bag somewhere, because if the Dolphins don't want to, if the Dolphins don't want to pay him $12 million a year or more, I think he'll find somebody who can.
No doubt.
I would not get either one. I've been telling Donno this for almost a year.
Yeah.
You take both of them, you ship them out, you save that $13 million, you get Mac Hollins. Hey, listen, gain 10 pounds, you're playing tight end, and go get another receiver. And you just got a tight end who's faster than both, more athletic than both, and can do everything they both can do, and he does it, and he gives you a better value. If you want to emphasize speed and you want to get open and you want separation, put Mac Hollins at tight end and get Hunter Long on the other side, and you have two tight ends that can move. You don't got to pay these two idiots.
I love Mac Hollins. Anything to get Mac Hollins more snaps and more play on the field, I am game for. I think he could, even with his frame. I mean, Mac Hollins is jacked too. So he could probably stand to gain a few pounds, 10, 12 pounds, and probably not lose any of that speed. And he's physical. He gets on there and gets hands on people. I love that idea. I love it too. But I mean, listen, Smythe showed a lot of versatility this year. He did, a halfback at times. I could see them wanting to keep Smythe because this offense is going to be a lateral 12-man personnel, zone blocking scheme, a lot of trickery, a lot of moving around. A guy like him is invaluable for some stuff like that. I guess Embry would be the guy to make that call, I would imagine, right? At this point, if he says, hey, let's keep this one and get that one. I guess it doesn't appear that Gesicki has any interest in becoming a great blocker. So it's just not going to happen. So I could see them shipping him off. But it would also be smart that if they tag him, he'll fight for everything, because this is the big contract year. If he's going to leave and a team's going to pay him, they're going to want to see why. And this is the year why. And if there was ever a time to pay Mike Gesicki, it would be this year if we were going to keep him, because this is – I know his numbers are up in some ways, but it was a down year for where we all thought he was going to jump. Am I right? I mean, I thought he was going to explode through the ceiling. I think there was some underutilization.
And listen, he showed some amazing flashes at times. There are some games, especially earlier in the season, where he was a little bit invisible. And listen, to be fair, I think that his production suffered from the same stuff that everybody's production on the offensive side of the football suffered from, and that was, if there are just games when your entire offensive line are made up of traffic cones that are not blocking anybody, then that's gonna take production away from everybody, right? Tight ends, receivers, quarterback, running game. Although, and talking about the running game though, it's why I give Duke Johnson so much credit, because Duke Johnson was able to get a couple of really productive games behind that same terrible offensive line that Myles Gaskin, who I do not rate, and I know Big John Studd is not a Myles Gaskin fan either. Like, Myles Gaskin couldn't do anything behind that offensive line. Duke Johnson actually could, which goes
such a shame too. I had such high hopes for Myles Gaskin, man. I thought he was going to take the next step. Him and Sylvan Ahmed too. It just seemed, especially on those wheel routes and the passing game, we didn't get to see a lot of what I saw in practice.
You can't because I've said this all year, and I'm going to give you a take that you probably haven't heard before. But you have 5 linemen. You have 6 leaks, bro. I've been telling Donno all year. I think I've said it like 15 times. Dude, they can't block. Like I said, bro, Austin Jackson's a drive-through. Jesse Davis, like he says, is like a traffic cone. Everybody runs over him. My daughter who he met, sacked Tua 5 times this season. Right around Jesse Davis, bro. Telling you, at least he knows how to fall forward because he knows how to fall backwards. It's horrible. But here's something you haven't thought of, and everybody keeps mentioning the running game, and the running game. I don't think a better running game is going to help Tua. I'm going to explain why. Everybody keeps mentioning running game, and I've been clamoring, and I've been saying it the whole season. Without a running game, Tua completes 73% of his passes. Okay. If you would have gotten Tua, for example, Will Fuller, if Will Fuller would have played, the receiver would have helped Tua more than the running game. Because him running the ball for 3-4 yards isn't going to change anything because Tua completes the ball anyway. You just need a receiver to dictate coverage.
I think with the running game, though, John.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I think it predicates on this offense, though. This is the scheme that they're bringing in. Do we need?
No, I get it. No, I get it. I'm talking about everybody saying, because they didn't have a running game. What they didn't have was a number one receiver to help Waddle because Waddle's a number one, but they were using Waddle like Jarvis Landry. It isn't that Waddle can't get down the field. It's just they used him as a chain mover. Waddle was doing
he was like their running game. Like Jalen Waddle was like the Dolphins' running game. Like, we can get it 5 yards to Waddle because we can't have a running back that can get us 5 yards.
Yeah, it's gonna take the most important part. It's the offensive line. All these other things are great. No one has time to throw. No one has a hole to open up and run through. No one does anything. And what's strange to me as we sit here today with no roster moves, Austin Jackson is probably one of the key guys in making this work because of his ability with his fleet of foot to get downfield for, to be the pulling guard or the pulling tackle, because that's a lot of what they're going to want to do. Misdirection with a blocker leaked out this way and the ball goes that way and try to get a guy out in space. They're going to need to put some other guys on this roster, man. It's going to happen. Let me ask you. Can't hang your hat on Austin Jackson.
Here's something people don't think about that I've been thinking about lately, and it drives me crazy, but Here's an honest assessment. You sit there, right? You draft Austin Jackson, right? It's not that you drafted him and he sucks. It's that you drafted him to run a scheme he's not good at. Yeah, Austin Jackson at USC ran a zone blocking scheme, which is what we're running now. You had Austin Jackson running a power scheme here, which he doesn't play well in. So you're sticking around a square peg in a round hole. So it doesn't make any sense. Now everybody's going to play an offense. Like people say, we need a running back. No, you don't. You really want to be sincere, you don't. You have Philip Lindsay, who in a offense that we're going to be running when he was with Denver as a rookie ran for 1,000 yards. Mm-hmm. So you don't really need a running back.
I think you still. I would keep Duke. I would keep Lindsay. Mm-hmm. I would shoot everybody else to the other side of the galaxy, and then you need to bring in another back or two.
Yeah, you do. And God willing, they could find a bell cow back of some sort to lean on at times, because then when you have someone that stays on the field, when you have all the guys stay on the field, but you run several different plays out of that same personnel, that's when you can really put pressure on a defense like that, because you're not changing your guys in other than maybe one dude here and there. Same formation, completely different play, and that's how this works. Do you guys think they'll bring in Mostert? Because there's talk about that.
I would love it. I think Raheem Mostert. I think.
I have no issues with him, but his problem is the same issue as the DVP. Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Nobody.
And I want to go back. I want to go back and say one quick thing about Austin Jackson, because you guys both made great points about him. That this is actually the type of offensive scheme where you can actually get the best out of him. I wonder if anybody in the chat saw this or heard this, because I didn't. Like, I watched all of McDaniel's opening presser and all the questions he was asked, and I caught a little bit of him on the Levitard show. I didn't catch the whole thing. Like, has anybody asked him yet about Austin Jackson? Because obviously everybody's asking him about Tua, but like I would love to hear his take. And like he's not stupid.
Well, I can give you his answer right now, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me get in the building. We got to make an assessment.
Yeah, true.
We gotta, that's I would expect. I mean, even when he was
Yeah.
asked about Tua in that presser, he didn't answer. First of all, it wasn't the ringing endorsement that he gave him on the plane that we got to see. Well, that the Dolphins gave us, that gave him. That was a little bit of political play. In front of the crowd, he went and he said Tua, but then he deflected to the team and what he expects.
I think it's backwards.
It was smart.
No, but I think it was backwards. I think what he told Tua was true. When he told the crowd was the political answer. I think in front of I think his real answer to Tua was on the plane. And I think the political answer he gave everybody was in person. So I think he wants to keep it about the team, so they don't start asking him specific questions, because he's trying not to answer any questions. He even answered questions for Ross and Greer without them asking questions for Ross and Greer, because they couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
So, no, because Ross and Greer wasn't going to answer questions. They weren't going to take them. No, they can. They're just not going to. They can do whatever they want.
They can answer even though they have a pending lawsuit.
They can at least be asked questions. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, I think I wasn't there in person, but I'm pretty sure they probably told. Well, first of all, like you said, Ross and Greer didn't really take questions, but they probably were like, "Hey, like you just can't ask Steven, right?" Somebody did ask McDaniel about it, and like, what's he gonna say? Like,
he just got here.
He just got here. It's like, what's he? Oh yeah, I think it's terrible what they're doing here. Like, what's he?
You know what? I love the job I got, but this place sucks.
Yeah, but I'm guessing like they probably told the media that, hey, like guys, like they're like we can't really say anything because this is litigation.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. There is certain things that would incriminate them, and you can't do that either. Mickey Arison, if you don't mind, I'm going to drop in the back. We're not ending the show, but we're winding down to the end, and I want to give Alex a chance to promote where people can find you, Alex, because it's very important that in this community we make sure that everyone, washes one hand to the other. You know what I'm saying? I know you got some things going on later today, so it was only an hour, interview and stuff, but let guys know where they can find you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, man. I love what you're doing here. I like your style. I like your look. I love the community you guys have in the live chat. Big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of Big John Stud, who's been on with us as well. And yeah, you guys can find me just about every day, 3 p.m. on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to their channel, and my show, 3 p.m. Donno Daily. I am going to be out most of next week. I'm doing a show Monday, and then I'm going to be in Jamaica, kicking my feet up for the rest of the week. Belated 10th anniversary trip for my wife and I. So that's why I gotta balance at one, because I gotta go. When you travel internationally, you got to produce a negative COVID test. So as long as I'm negative, I'll be flying to Jamaica in a couple of days. If I'm not negative, you'll see my mug. You'll see my mug on YouTube a little bit extra. But yeah, check it out. 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. 3 p.m. every day. I also do a combat sports show on that channel, 6 p.m. on Thursday nights. We were on a couple nights ago previewing UFC 271, which I think is going to be awesome. And then, yeah, I turn up every now and then. I turn up on 560 and 790, more during football season because I do the Hurricanes and Dolphins post games. But off season, I'll turn up every now and then, filling in for like Hawk and Crowder or somebody. So yeah, and follow me on Twitter. You see the handle right down there. Follow me there.
Yes, follow Alex on Twitter, because I'll tell you what, Alex every now and again will bring in quite the tweet. I'm gonna share that real quick because you got the Tuanon up in an uproar. And here's the tweet that you were talking about the other day. Here it is. I've seen some Tua fans say they want to sign a backup that won't be a threat to the starting job. What are you afraid of, Tuanon? Pretty much, it's a jab because they kind of they talk out of both sides of their mouth. Doesn't Tuanon? This tweet got people in a tissy fit, to say the least. I retweeted it and I was like,
thank you,
God. I'm like, God, geez, the people are really all over Alex on this one.
And I knew they would be too. And listen, and people don't understand. That's not a shot at Tua. That is not. And honestly, Tua would embrace competition. I think Tua is a very strong-minded, motivated individual. That was not a shot at Tua. That was a shot at a handful of people that I've spoken to and seen. And by the way, a lot of the responses were like, bro, literally no one in the world said this. No one, you're making it up. And then I gave him like 3 screenshots of people who said it. Like, well, that's 3 people. Like, yeah, okay,
no, that same person.
I don't want to spend all day producing screenshots. Sorry.
That same person will then argue why Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy to bring here, or something like that as a backup, or even I think Marcus Mariota was the hot topic item. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That they literally will say, no, that's not true. We would take a great backup, but
we shouldn't.
But we shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't. Let's get Davis Mills. You know, let's get David Mills instead in here.
Davis Mills, who has very similar statistics to Tua, by the way.
And he's got a cannon. He's got a cannon on his arm too, bro. You know, so Alex, thank you so much, man. I'll be watching. I'll check out that. As I was at the last combat show, man. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I hope it gets some steam.
Thank you for popping in there.
I love UFC. Now that football season's ending, you know, the UFC it cranks up. So I'll be excited to watch that show, man. Thank you so much for coming in, my man. Guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, go over and check out Alex on all platforms. 5 Reasons Sports Network on YouTube. He's there every day at 3. Please go get him. Show him some love. Let him know El Capitan sent you if you could. I'd appreciate that. Alex, thanks, man. Have a good day and enjoy your vacation. I'll see you Monday. I'll be watching the show.
You too. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye, later, buddy. What's up, Mickey? So Alex was here, man. I'm so excited. It was very gracious of him to make some time. I know he's a busy guy, and especially on the weekends. I know he's a family man. I mean, literally, he's got soccer in the morning with his son and fit me in there to now he's got stuff to do. It's just a great guy.
I told you, man, that I would, talk to him and see if I could bring him on here, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm on his show every Wednesday. I'm a staple on that show literally every Wednesday. That's how you found out who I was.
That's how I when I seen you, I was like, ooh, I got to talk to this guy. He's hilarious, bro. I had to, man. So, we'll keep this a little Dolphin centric, and guys, I'll drop the link. But guys, if you're watching and you're in the comments right now, you need to get in on the Tua card, contest. Type in hashtag TFTG in the contest, or excuse me, in the comments, and you will be automatically put in for the running for the card. I will do the whatchamacallit here if I could figure out how to do it. Let me go ahead and pull that up, matter of fact, just to make sure. I don't know why I closed that window. I'll have to reopen that window, but it'll run it and it'll be awesome. So I'm gonna drop the link, guys. You can come in. I've got another hour to hang and talk absolute bullshit. And guys, come on in here. Tell me what you thought about Donno. Make sure you guys are going over there and, subscribing and watching Donno. If you guys haven't heard about Donno, let them know that El Capitan sent you. I'd really appreciate that. But, I do worry about the defense. Vic Fangio was a hopeful hire around here. I don't know, man. It makes it harder for me to realize that this guy is going to be a head coach, not just an offensive coordinator. You can't make that mistake. We've seen people make that mistake before, a la Adam Gase, a la every time we hire the opposite of what we let out of the building. We need a facilitator, and Color's in here. What's up, Color?
What's up, guys? What's up, Mickey? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man?
Hey, I don't know what it is. Every time Donno's on with you and I'm talking in chat, something gets confused. I didn't say you were trying to take my wallet for my money. I was trying to say you took my Brian Flores picture out of it.
Yeah, that's what he said. I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
I wouldn't presume to think you need any of my money, man.
Whatever. Yeah, here, watch out. Who get that wallet, boy? Watch out now. Estefan, what's up, brother? Thanks for hopping in.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Kind of spotty. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit.
Let me come back.
You are spotty, brother. Cap for life in here too. What's up, Cap?
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Hello?
Yeah. What's going on, brother?
Hello?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing good. We lost Mickey Harrison, though.
Sounds like everybody's out on the road today, man. Gorgeous
Yeah.
Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's beautiful out. You know, I'm gonna be doing, chores, whatever my old lady says here in an hour. She wanted me to do it before the show, but I had to do some prep work. I had the great Alex Donno coming in here. Great show, man. I'm glad we got to touch on the Canes. I'm so excited about the Canes.
Good stuff.
Great
Good stuff.
talking about the Heat. Who's not excited about the Heat, man? I mean, holy cow! They look finals bound, don't they? They look like they're gonna march in, be healthy as they come around here. But I am worried about the defensive side of the ball. We let go of Gerald Alexander. I would have rather have made him defensive coordinator and kept him, and put Boyer as a position coach or let Boyer go personally. But I guess that's not the vision. We'll have to see what the vision is. What's up, Sharif?
What's going on, Sharif?
All right. And
I'm pretty comfortable with it, Chris. I really think our defense will be all right.
I don't know, man. I think the defense will be all right because look how young it is and cohesion and all that stuff, especially if they sign Ogba. They're going to need to do that. But I don't know.
I mean, it's really hard to say, but it's one of those things that
your defensive play caller is gone, guys. Make that be clear. Boyer, not that he doesn't call plays, but it's kind of like the situation with San Francisco. I'm sure Mike McDaniel designed and called plenty of plays, but I wouldn't call him the offensive coordinator, play caller, designer. That wasn't his offense. He was designing plays in the offense, and he was probably calling plays and scripts and stuff like that they have. But the gatekeeper, the decision maker, is Shanahan over there.
So do you think that McDaniel sees a lot of himself in Boyer on the other side of the ball? Like, really wasn't doing it, but here's his shot to show everybody he was or should have been?
I don't know, man.
One thing that McDaniel made clear was that he really was impressed with our defense and loves our style and is fully on board with the style that we're
Who wouldn't love this defense?
Well,
I mean, be real, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. If the guy is worth his, if he's worth the price of admission, in as far as his smarts goes, and being a young guy, seeing football the way a lot of young people do. I won't include myself, but I don't know. It seems like he would be right on top of things if our defense was regressing.
I mean, listen, if not, and the defense regresses, we're going to be in for some real problems because that's going to put pressure. I see you dropped out there, Mickey Harrison, to get in on the contest. Smart move, brother. Smart move. Remember, guys, TFTG, hashtag TFTG in the comments. You can get Tua. I just worry about overwhelming the young man in his first year as head coach. He's already got a tall order on the offense. Being the play caller, he said he's going to call the plays. But when he did say he's going to call plays, he also alluded to the fact that he's going to lean on his guys to his offensive staff because he knows he's got to be head coach and has to do other things.
And given his attitude that we've seen, I would say that, we could at least trust, I think, at least so far, I'd like to say this. Of course, everything's hope and wishes right now, but he does give me the impression that he at least knows what good football looks like. That's as far as I can determine so far. No, that's not much, but because he still backs Tua, so he still thinks he can do something there. So I don't know, but of course he's working with information we're not working with as far as the medical side of things.
I want to see what he's going to do with this defense if he can keep it consistent. To be honest, I got to be honest. I really don't care about the draft. I don't. I
care about the draft.
I was always.
What are we?
Nah, I don't, man. I'm not gonna lie. especially after the past 2 years.
Hey, Estefan.
It's just
the Rams didn't care about the draft, Estefan.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm coming from,
boys.
man. You know, I was all about the draft the past 2 years. It was a rebuild. We had all these picks, man, and we ain't even going to the damn playoffs. But you got these other teams, you know, they'll add a piece here and there, and, you know, they at least look good, a lot better than us.
I never thought I would ever. I never thought I would agree with Estefan on anything, but yes, I have to agree. Fuck the draft. I don't give a damn anymore. Most of our players are gonna come in free agency. Most of what we
I don't see how you guys can say that when all the young great talent has been young drafts on this team right now.
This is the way I
don't
see
see
it.
how that could be it.
See, I think somebody gave this take last night. There's one player that they missed though. I believe, man, I think it was your show. I was listening to it, or it might have been the show with TD in there. I don't know, man. I'm getting them mixed up. Somebody made a statement that I've been making. Greer he's going to get credit, but what a lot of people don't understand is these past 2 drafts have been loaded. You know what I mean? You could have been a blind man and still been able to pick. At least you had some sense. So what he did was he pretty much took the best wide receiver, the best defensive end. If you watch that tape on Phillips, you would have known that he had the best tool set out of all the defensive ends. The only problem he has was his concussion issues. And Javon Holland, on a lot of boards, was a number 1 safety. They were no-brainer picks. So, you got to give him credit.
Can't be no-brainer, man. We've seen too many GMs come through here and whiff all over the place. So.
What about? See, this is the thing. You can see you got it. That's what I said. That's why I said you got to give him credit for the fact that he had enough foresight to pick him. But the draft was loaded. Look at what he did.
Yeah, I think what Esther's trying to say is that all he really had to do was take the best on board.
Yeah, but that's not what he did, though, guys.
He took
the 3rd overall pick, maneuvered things around, back and forth, got another pick later down the line, and still got 2 great athletes.
Right.
So that's the stuff that Chris Greer does the best.
Sure.
First of all,
and look where we're at now. Those picks that are supposed to be for the future, we're probably not going to have them after this comes down on us.
That's not Chris
remember,
Greer's
Chris,
fault.
I believe
That's
in this
Chris
team.
Greer's
So,
fault.
well, Chris, remember, I believe in this team. So I inherently believe in Chris Greer in that regard to build the team because I believe in what we got. So
it's where I hang my hat now for the Dolphins, and the belief that we'll be good enough to win a Super Bowl is because of Chris Greer. I got to be honest, guys. I'm a big fan.
The year prior, Austin Jackson he's one of the softest linemen in the NFL, and Iggy hasn't produced anything for us. Tua is still, I'd say, a project for the most part because he hasn't, fulfilled.
He hasn't shown that he's a guarantee. That's for sure.
He hasn't fulfilled his duty as a quarterback, but he's not horrible. He at least gave you something. Those other guys, Austin Jackson, I mean, they're moving him around to a guard now. You know what I mean? Iggy, he's not even seeing the field. I mean, at this point, you invested so much in that guy being a first-round pick. If you're a defensive guru, at some point you got to look at this guy's bill and be like, man, can we use this guy a will linebacker or something to get him on the field? Like, you know what I mean? Like, our linebackers aren't that great. Like, they got to start thinking outside the box because he's going to be on the roster. So I honestly don't put a lot of merit into the draft this year. The most that I want, if anything, I would use draft picks and draft capital to move up and get a middle linebacker. Everything else, I want in free agency. You know what I mean? That's it.
Can I step in there after you're done,
Stephen? Go ahead, Sharif.
See, I think it's this, man. I actually want to look into position moves, and I actually want to look into the free agency and picks, the draft picks. I'm glad Estefan brought that up, but I'm not gonna speculate anymore on who held back who or who manipulated who, because if you listen to Omar Kelly recently, there was a lot of backstabbing towards Mr. Flores. So all I'm gonna say is We can stir any narrative we want for Tua, not for Tua, for Watson, but I wanna start looking at who fits on this team, free agency coming in. I've already looked at under the cap. I've already looked at the draft. In terms of who fits, I'm looking up the best fullback. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe you can screen share the under the cap or fans speak management. See how we can break down this roster.
Well, I'll save that for another show, Sharif, because draft is coming soon. I expect some free agency moves to start happening. We will break down some of the roster, some of the potential draft picks, things like that. I think me and the guys are going to do a top 100 board potentially. Brandon the bookie, Big Kev, all of us, Color probably get in on that. Mike's chomping at the bit. Mike on the mic. Guys, real quick.
Yeah, Mike could probably get all 100 in like 5 minutes.
Oh no, Mike could probably rattle off all 100 right off the top of his head. So could Brandon and Big Kev for that matter. You know what I'm saying? These guys got it all loaded up here. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button, please, please, please. Also, guys, we are giving away the Tua card again. You got to do hashtag TFTG in the comments. Try to do it hashtag TFTG capitalized, because I don't know if that means anything, if they'll take it either way. I'm looking at it right now. There's only 5 entries. So
wow, really? You guys, man.
You guys are not.
It's just 4 letters.
It's hashtag TFTG. Do it capital.
It's even easier to do than hitting the like button.
It's I don't know about that. The like button is just one button.
Oh,
so,
that's right. That's
you know
right.
What I'm
yeah.
saying? But do the like button, then do hashtag TFTG to get in on the contest. Because right now there's only drawing from 5 people for the Tua card, and that's telling me a lot of you people don't like Tua. That's what I'm seeing right now.
It's easier than turning on your right blinker.
I'm seeing that Tua doesn't have a lot of fans. I'm giving away this card, and I'm seeing
everybody knows how I feel about Tua. I would take the damn card. What if he does end up balling out?
Hey, listen, this card will be worth some money, boys.
Yeah.
You know, and El Capitan is ready to give it out. So,
and he'll at least have some infamy value.
As summer goes around, too, I give away cards. I've given away plenty on the show. I got Derrick Henry over here. You know, I got some really good cards that I'm going to give away. Not some of my special ones that will go to my son, which, okay, I'll show you one that'll end up going to him. Signed Eric Dickerson. That's going to my son right there, guys.
Wow. I thought that was a Jamar Taylor.
No, that's signed Eric Dickerson right there. So
Chris, I wanted to say something about McDaniel and Tua that I think that people have to remember, and give him credit. Mike said it out, like he wasn't afraid to say it on, in the interview with Joe Rose. And I brought this up last night on my show. That he said, you believe in someone until they give you reason not to.
That's kind of where I'm at with Tua. I'll be honest, guys.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, because I find it really hard to believe that a guy who of Mike McDaniel's caliber, and yes, that was the possessive AB before you start chomping on me in chat. If he's
you should be on.
If he's got that exceptionalism, I just don't think he's going to lay it on the line. For instance, the way what we can criticize about Tua's mechanics and stuff like that, and the way he holds and throws the ball and all that kind of stuff. McDaniel strikes me as the type of guy that is going to tell him to put up or shut up. Like, hey, this is how it needs to be done. I don't care what
don't
you think.
You know he can't do that. He can't do that because if he does that, that's not nice to Tua, and that's not being supportive.
Right.
That's not coddling.
That's where he has the upper hand. He already has management out there putting forth the image in the media that Mike McDaniel does have the ability to talk to people in a way, like he said himself in his interview. It's about getting people to do something in a certain way where they don't know you're trying to get them to do something. You know what I mean? It was when McDaniel was talking about the essence of his coaching philosophy was basically that, you can order somebody to do something, but make them think that you're begging them. You know what I mean? Or not like just that's what I got out of it. Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But the thing of it is to say something like that, you believe in somebody until they give you reason not to. Well, if we're all right about Tua, it should happen fairly quickly that he gives him reason not to believe in him.
I'll say it like this, Color. I think, like I said 2 weeks ago on the panel, if Tua can, and guys, please don't be fair for his injury, because it's put up or shut up.
That's right.
Tua
If he
has
gets
to give me
injured, that
4
tells me what I need to know. He can't
Exactly.
stay healthy. If he only plays 9 games next year, I don't want to hear, well, we need to see him for a whole healthy season. I'm not waiting for healthy seasons. The hell out of here with that.
See, there it comes back to the question of the backup. What if Mike McDaniel gives Tua 5 games, and after game 5, we're 2-3, we still have a shot at salvaging our season, and he has a shot at salvaging his first year record? You know, what does he do? Does he bench Tua? Does he who? And even if he does, bench him for who? If we can't bring in a backup that's not supposed to challenge Tua.
Exactly. So for me, right, I think the only way Tua can be successful is, remember that 3rd down when he was in the end zone and he didn't scramble when he had time to scramble? I think TD played that little clip. But there's many times, because I subscribe to the All 22 guys, and I watch every play. There's plays where Tua can scramble. He just does not want to. And the Saban said he had that same problem of trying to get the scramble, and looking downfield, which caused plenty injuries. So for me, if you get out of that pocket and you don't see anything, get out of there. You've got to give me 400 plus yards rushing if you're Tua, because you have to make something happen if there's nothing there. I don't want to see you patting the ball, hoping for the line to give you 2.9 seconds, dude. Get your ass out of there, scramble, get me 7, get me 6, get me 9, get me 17, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look at a guy like Russell Wilson. He doesn't even bother trusting in his offensive line. I mean, the guy scrambles out just about at the snap of the ball every play.
And he immediately gets the ball and starts taking off away. He just runs far away
and it opens up the whole field to him.
It does.
Then it's backyard football.
And even if he goes to one side of the field, he's still making throws over to the other side of the field. And it
does help to have Tyler Lockett. You know, the guy catches everything he sees.
That's why I would bring in Jarvis Landry, because I think Jarvis Landry always comes back to the ball for Tannehill, and he would be a sweet fit for Tua, because if you're looking at that physical Debo type, doesn't Landry fit that? Like, if you get him the ball, he's fighting for yards. I mean, we literally seen Landry fight for his yards. So if you want a Debo Samuel, bring in Landry. He's 31. I think we'd have to trade for him though.
He just had surgery, no?
Yeah, he did. I think he did just have surgery this year. Didn't he play though after surgery a little bit? I can't remember. I don't know, but you know what? This team is so young with such a young wide receiving core. It's kind of why shout out Crypto Dolphin. He wants to get DVP out of there, because you got to remember, these are young guys. The veterans that they're going to bring in have to be the kind of guy that you want the young guys to emulate. So you got to be careful. Jarvis Landry, great guy, great stuff. I know he's a team player and stuff like that. I could see why they would bring him in. But really what we need more of is speedy, get out into open space, find the soft spot, hit them on the go. That's the type of offense they're going to want to run. Quick, lateral, side to side. I don't think there's going to be a lot of downfield shots unless you have to or it presents itself. It's always what the defense gives you in an offense like this. And basically, and I don't want to take a shot at Tua, but you have to run that kind of offense because he's not taking anything from anyone. And that's kind of what I had hoped to see last year, is him take
the
shit.
dog.
Hey, Chris, put up Shake Money's comment.
Let me see. Hold on. Where's it at?
Yeah,
If
man.
Miami goes 2-3, it's obvious that Tua is being sabotaged.
That's
I
what
got a question for everybody.
That's what Tuanon would say.
That's
I got a
exactly what
question
they would
for
say.
everybody. What happens if Tua comes out in, let's say, game 1, puts up 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interception, and rushes for a touchdown, right?
If he does that,
are we gonna credit Mike McDaniel for that? Or are we gonna finally admit that maybe Tua was the one sabotaging the team and not the other way around?
Ooh, was Tua actually sabotaging the team? Did he throw
has
balls?
he been holding back?
Think
Yeah.
of this. Think of
Did
this
he-
color. If I'm let's say I'm Chine Gailey. Let's say you're Flo, and let's say Capitan is Chris Greer. All of a sudden, you wake up. I wake up, and Captain has made a move above our heads and put Tua in over Fitzmagic. Now Flo has to come to him, come to Tua and sell. Hey man, it wasn't me. Look, we got to get you ready. I thought it was gonna be Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic was winning games, but Greer and Ross went above us. It was never a good situation for Tua from the get-go, and Tuanon wouldn't see that.
Right. Well,
For me-
it's been something that I brought up way early on when this divide really started to ramp up. And it's probably not the case, but nobody's ever even brought up the idea that maybe Tua just doesn't like the surfing in Miami. Maybe he never wanted to be here the moment he got into the building.
Maybe when he found out
We don't
Chine
know.
Gailey didn't
Didn't
really
look very
believe him.
happy that when he got drafted. It wasn't this
I mean, he's
jubilation
been
moment.
indifferent to the city the whole time he's been here. He's been
Well-
indifferent to the fan base. He's not, like he said himself, his job is not to be the guy that takes the team on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Outright said that himself. He does all of his philanthropy in Hawaii, which is okay, but you know, whatever. Plenty
Well,
of
I can tell
players go do for their home state. I get that.
Did Gailey and Flores seem excited week 7 when Tua had to step in, was forced in by Ross and Greer? No, nobody was excited that Tua took off over.
So I'm just saying that if we see Tua just
Well, I
ball
gotta
out right
disagree with
away,
that, Sharif.
it
When
could
Tua-
lend some credence to the idea that maybe now he's ready to increase his value because the whole plan was to get himself out of Miami in the first place.
Well, here's the deal. Right now, after firing this coach, after this team pretty much saying we're sticking with Tua and getting rid of the Tua hater in Flores, because that's the labels that they've put on him now. If Tua doesn't rise to the occasion, I expect to see the excuses on who's sabotaging him next, because that's what I get.
It'll be Boyer.
It'll be Boyer. It'll be whoever they
Not
can
not
pin it
coaching
on.
up the defense properly on purpose so that Tua has to fight for more points.
That's exactly right. It's a little delusional, and I see you in there, AB, that we're the delusional ones. No, I am the embodiment of the other side of the argument.
Look, they've already put it out there, Chris, that he's had 3 OCs in 3 years. That excuse kept Tannehill in the building for 7 years.
Real Deal says Floanon is as wild as Tuanon. No. It's not about flow. It's about Tua in the sense that I expect to see the excuses mount in every which way for why he got injured and whose fault it was, for why he isn't winning football games and whose fault it is. Now, I have full expectation. I hold him to a higher standard. I don't want to make excuses. He's got the football in his hand. No one on the field has more of an opportunity to show what they got than the guy with the football in his hand every fucking snap on offense.
It's his duty. It's his duty to make us eat crow. It is his duty to make us eat crow.
When you say stuff like that, man, for me, that translates to not all the time. Sometimes you can't help an injury, but there are injuries that you can prevent just by your preparation and putting in extra work. And that's why I always go back to. I always bring up the fact that there was the, you could say it's a rumor about him not putting in, the work, and that being a part of Flo's frustration with him. And I was hearing that, in the middle of the season. So
But Esther, you've been at jobs you didn't really want to be at. You know what I mean?
yeah, when you don't prepare correctly, you're not going to be aware of everything that's going on when you're out there.
Right,
And
but that
football's-
actually supports my idea that he just never wanted to be in Miami. If he's a true Hawaiian,
yeah,
and he goes out to the beach in Miami and looks at those waves, I can see him thinking to himself, where the hell have I got myself? Are
I
you
don't know.
kidding me?
That's
I got to drive up to Sebastian just to get half the waves we got in Hawaii.
Bro, I've been surfing in Sebastian a bunch of times, man. It's dangerous as shit. There's sharks over there, but
It
fun.
still ain't Hawaii, bro.
But-
you know what I mean?
just to finish my point,
Sure.
you're not going to have field awareness when you don't put the preparation in. This isn't a sport where you're a professional and, it comes to that point where you're not doing that. Even if you don't get along with the coaches or whatever personal issues you might have, whatever you might have. So I always bring that up because of what I was seeing on the field on Sundays. It did look like there was times where it was lack of preparation. He also was playing sometimes just like basic his instincts, and he's got some athleticism. So that's where I'm at, man. That's why I say just put in the work, earn it, and then you'll get the respect. But right now, it's not where it's at.
Color put a guy playing golf for his little
For me,
avatar.
right? Instead of throwing those floaters where you don't know, and then everybody in the stadium's like, "What the fuck did you just throw?"
First of all, a
Run.
floater slows down the wide
Run.
receiver from getting it too. You know what I'm saying? You got to drill that ball in there every now and again.
Look at most of his interceptions where we were like, "What the hell are you doing, Tua?
Yep.
Take off and run."
Yes.
Just take off. That's
Well,
what
we
I'm
don't want him to
saying.
take off and run because God forbid a linebacker comes bearing down
Dude,
on him.
I don't
He's
care.
done for.
Dude, you would get first down. I don't care if you get
40
hurt. That's
times
what
a
I'm
game
saying.
and a completion wasn't one of them.
God,
what I'm saying,
God
Captain.
Soldier says we had the 32 ranked O-line and Tua's throwing it 40 times a game. I don't think I have to look at the stats. I don't even think he had one game where he had 40 attempts. If he did, it was maybe one or two. We didn't force.
Actually, Chris, I did look it up because when Jaceki posted that tweet about, next year we're going to be throwing 40 times a game as if it was some kind of slight to the previous coaching staff. I actually looked it up. We threw the ball 36 times a game last year.
Yeah, I don't even think we threw it 40 times in one game.
No.
guess what?
Maybe we did, and maybe 20 in another game. What I'm saying
The
is,
Giants game.
what
Trey
I
says.
couldn't understand what Jaceki was getting at. So you're like posting a tweet that you're going to be throwing 4 more times a game. I don't know what that's supposed to insinuate. Like they weren't throwing enough. You know what I mean?
I gotta say something though about
You could be
McDaniel.
insinuating that they would be traded.
There are a lot of people that are overhyped already, and nothing's even happened. We haven't even taken the field. We don't know what we're getting. I wasn't even overhyped with Flo. I was just like, okay, let me see what he's got. Let me see what I like his resume. I like the fact that he was the longest tenured coach under Belichick. I like what he did in the Super Bowl, but I just wanted to see what he was going to give us once we hit the field. And I like, that some of the development, we had some bumps in the road, but for the most part, you could visually see that there was an identity that was starting to form with his team. And so I like that. So I'm just cautious about my optimism. I'm just
I am too, Esther. I just think McDaniel comes off as the type of guy that doesn't want to upset the apple cart for his own good.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Where I'm at is, and this is where I'll be. I hope they just surprise me, and out of nowhere, they just are killing it. Just whooping ass on Sundays. But I don't have the expectation right now that that's what's going to happen. It's just more of a wait and see approach.
The offense now is about being diligent and keeping the ball out of the other offense's hand. That's really what this style is. Clock management, long
Which
drives.
could work in Miami just because of our climate, but
It's such a tall ask to go.
Yeah,
Hey, look,
everything
we're
has
gonna-
TD says it all the time, Chris. Everything has to be so perfect.
So perfect, man. It's just too much. When one thing can go wrong, a guy misses an assignment. And now because this system is about, first down, second down, third down, first down, second down, third down, first down. It's not about,
right. And next year it'll be whichever game knocked us out, whichever play knocked us out, and whichever player is responsible for that play
and it
will be the one
Tua.
we need to replace, and that'll cure everything and get us to the Super Bowl.
That shit don't work, bro.
That'll go on for another 25 years, man.
It's what we've been spinning on this nonsense wheel long enough. I'm tired of not holding people accountable. If you can't stay healthy, get. If you can't catch the football and that's your job, get. I ain't got no time for weakness, and I don't like all that too. They're like, oh, you can't treat people this way. I seen you guys in the comments. Bullshit. Every coach I ever had was a mean asshole. They were assholes.
Yeah,
you know what it made you do?
Right.
It was like I'll show you, coach, on the field, and I lay somebody out.
Yeah,
that's
Chris,
how you get them to go. Good job.
Including Mike Shanahan.
Of course. Mike Shanahan was not
the one Shanahan with actual Super Bowl rings.
That's not funny that you say that.
Not
man.
just repeated appearances.
Dude, I quoted almost that exact same line to EM, what Chris just said. Bro, I just don't remember coaches like. How many fucking Tony Dungy coaches have you been around, bro? They're fucking a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? My bad. I didn't mean to cuss, but
you can cuss, buddy.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. I agree 100%, man. The hard asses, man. I mean, well, at least in Texas. I don't know about everywhere else, man.
I'm in Florida, bro. I promise you, they're hard ass. We used to do this. Drill called. I know a lot of people call it different things, but I can't remember what they call it now. It's slipping my mind. But we would run 20 yards, do jumping jacks. They blow the whistle, run back 20 yards, and do push-ups. And they would do this for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes straight. You would die with all your pads, all your gear on at the end of practice. Okay. It was so hard. People are throwing up every time. But guess what? By like week 4 in Pop Warner, when we were doing this, after a football game, it's like I hadn't even played one. I had such good endurance at that time, and that's when we started winning. Once people start getting that way, it takes sacrifice, guys, and it doesn't take excuses. I'm sick of excuses. Oh, the line. Oh, this. I can put excuse and context on anything. I'll give you a great one right now, one that most people would disagree with, but it has probably just as much water as any other good excuse. Pierre Paul, our O-line coach, isn't a bad O-line coach. Now, this is not what I believe. I'm just going to make this hypothetical. He was handed a bad circumstance. He literally had all new guys in new positions.
I agree.
He had all new guys in new positions, a lot of young guys in new positions. The deck was stacked against him. Here's your first time being an O-line coach. We're going to hand you nothing but a bunch of young guys and guys that never played the position. Coach them all up, make it work. He had a center that never was a center. He had a tackle move to guard. He had a journeyman that used to be a defensive tackle. I don't know if you guys know this, but Jesse Davis used to be a DT.
Yes.
He then moved over to the O-line. Also, we're going to give you Eichenberg, a rookie. We need him to start. We're going to give you Austin Jackson, and we want you to now switch him to a new position. The entire line has been moved around. So if you want to put context on things, Pierre Paul should keep his job, right? By this way of thinking.
And Captain, if you want to look at it in a different way, right? Scrambling was part of Fitzmagic's resume. And we were blowing out teams 20-0 before Tua came in week 7. At the end of the season 2 years ago, Fitzmagic and Tua combined only had 15 sacks. And Fitzmagic rushed for 200 yards.
And by the way,
you can't say that they were bad because last year they had a better year. They had a better year allowing lower sacks. So the rookies who all came in at the same time, like Captain said, had a better freaking year than your year this past year. So Tuanon cannot say that, the O-line coach, they did that. No, it's the O-line, not
God Soldier says, what's Flores' excuses? I would say his excuse would be Tua. That's what he would say. If you were to ask him, he'd go, the reason I didn't win as much football games is because I'm attached to a quarterback that I know that can't win. That's what I would imagine him to say.
And by the way, real
whether I
quick,
believe
Chris,
that or not, I don't know.
real quick, Chris, for everybody out there that keeps saying that we had a non-existent running game, we actually rushed for 1,568 yards this year.
It was actually a decent running game.
And it was only down slightly from 1,600 and something from last year. So that's your 32nd ranked offensive line.
But as everyone noticed, we came out the gates okay against the Patriots, caught them slipping first game of the year, and then after that, all the growing pains started, and the defense had mega turnover. We lost Bobby McCain, which I think a lot of people undervalue how important Bobby McCain was to the defense. We needed a new captain of the defense to call the defense. They put a lot more on Jerome Baker's plate, which then they took off. We had rookie edge rushers. McCourty didn't come in and take this team over like they thought. As far as being the leader on the field goes, there was young guys put in there, a lot of second year young guys and rookies on this defense. And so as the cohesion grew and the plan grew, the winning started coming. It was a tall ask. We did a lot of turnover the last few years, a lot of young guys. It was going to be hard. And the fact that Flores got 10 and 9 wins out of this squad respectively was pretty damn decent. I had hoped for more. I wanted more. But
if Louis Jacques, what is his name? If he's so bad, right? How come when the NFL did the statistics, the Dolphins ranked 6th in run blocking successfulness, meaning we were last in pass blocking successfulness. So if Louis Jacques is so bad, why are we 6th in the NFL in run blocking successfulness?
I don't know.
No one ever mentions that. I've heard that stat so many times, but everybody bypasses that to fit their narrative.
Which backs up Captain.
You know what? I also got to say this, guys. A lot of the negative statistics on this offensive line, remember how many games that we had our backup starting and how many sacks he took, how many QB hits he took. Jacoby Brissett moves like molasses. He literally looks like his pants and his pads and his shoes are in a big tub of water, and then he puts them on and he has to run. He looks so slow.
One more thing I want to add because people are insistent upon knocking the running game at 3.5 yards per attempt. Hey, guess what? Our passing yards per attempt is lower than some other teams' rushing yards per attempt at 5.6. So how's that in relation to our passing yards attempt at 3.5? 5.6 yards per attempt in passing.
Let's not get bogged down in so much of the
I'm just saying.
Analytics.
I'm just saying.
No, I agree with you, Color, but analytics, I can find analytics to fit my narrative. I could do this. I could do that. I mean, bro, there's just so much shit in the pantheon of how things are. It's not even about
analytics. It's just let's be real. 204 yards per game is a terrible quarterback. I'm sorry.
That you can't win in the NFL today with passing yards like that. And it's not the NFL. It's, you can't come in and say, hey, Larry Zonka isn't back there running like that. It's just not the way the NFL's played. It's a pass attack league now. Now, granted, if you're telling me, yes, we're going to pass attack in lieu of the running game, fine. I understand that. I've seen those offenses work. We're actually going to see one in the Super Bowl this week. So tomorrow, actually. So we'll see how that works. We talked about that, Color. Fanatical says that they're looking at Boston College's O-line coach, Matt Applebaum. I mean, listen, I don't know enough about him. I'll have to do some informational looking, but I'm not going to do too much into people that are potential. I got to wait until they're hired because I'm not wasting my life away. I got a family, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? I got a life. Here's the thing, and then I want to throw it to Wicked and then Crypto a little bit, but I'm not going to let stats disprove what I believe. I'm not going to use stats to make you believe shit, because I'm arguing about perspectives. And from where I sit, Tua was underwhelming last year. In a year, I expected to see more. And I said this, and I'll try to find the video. Shout out to my guys over at Go Time Dolphins. I tried to, early on, you could see me. I was so excited about this team. I felt like we were playoff bound. I think we all did. The defense takes another step forward. The offense just runs decent. Tua does what everyone tells me he's going to do. We're going to be good. But really what it came down for me isn't about going to the playoffs, isn't about wins or losses when I make my assessment of Tua. My assessment is that I saw someone get mentally defeated, and I saw someone when they had their opportunities didn't take advantage of them. He faltered. And I want to see one thing out of the young man. Give me the eye of the tiger, bro. Give me that look where you're like, yeah, bitch, I'm coming at you, fool. What you going to do? Give me that one game where I see him not just, shrug after laying into someone. I just want to know.
Yeah, that one game where the other team's defense is like, oh, shit. Right. He's still got 2 minutes left. I don't want to see him truck people. I want to see him sit in that pocket, dicing bitches up, going, yeah, what you going to do? Get jacked up. And they're looking. You could see the fear. You look at the defense. They're sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Who the hell is this guy on the other side of the field? They're scrambling around. I don't have that. I need someone who makes defenses fear me. And that I don't see. We want them to go for it on 4th and long because they're afraid to punt the ball back to Tua. That's what we want.
That's right. Exactly. Not afraid of a system where I got running backs and talented wide receivers and this and that and blah, 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 blah. That's so fucking hard to do. It's so hard to do.
And what I would look at, right, is that linebacker who's going to be spying Tua. Why does a linebacker spy? It's because they know the quarterback is a threat. Is a threat with not only his arm, his feet. So that I need that linebacker to always be strafing and spying.
Sharifa, I agree with you that you need that linebacker. That shows the respect. I understand.
Hey, Chris.
That shows the level of your duality.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's
Chris.
Up, Crypto? What's up, Crypto?
I got some good news for you, Chris.
Ooh, give me some.
Stephen Ross gave me a call last night.
Oh, hold up. You're breaking up a little bit, Crypto. Hold on. You're breaking up just a little bit because I want to hear about your Stephen Ross call. Guys, if you're watching the video, hit the like button. Also, you got to type in hashtag TFTG. Make sure it's all caps, guys, just in case. For the free Tua card. Hold on. Let me go ahead and just make this boom. Free Tua card. Hashtag TFTG in the comments, and you will win the Tua card. Crypto, what were you saying, buddy? Stephen Ross gave you a call? I can hear you. Stephen Ross gave you a call? Yes, sir.
Man, he gave me a call, man. He's good news for the Dolphins fan. He gave me a call last night. You know what he said? He said you guys are guaranteed to win at least 11. How about that?
We're guaranteed to win at least 11. Well, listen, Crypto.
Guaranteed. Stephen Ross said it. He just chimed in to me. He called me last night. I was like, man, this is the boss. This is the boss. He told me this. They said, rest assured, we're going to win 11 games this year at a minimum.
Well,
So all is well, arguing and fighting amongst each other now. He just gave me assurances that we're going to win 11 games.
Crypto, did you take your medication, man?
What's going on with everybody today?
Hey, what's up, Pete?
No
What's
color.
Up,
He put you on the forwarding address, Cutler. He told me to forward you, Cutler.
Crypto, you were putting me to sleep. I was dazzling away with that take.
So Pete, nail it down, man. Tell us what your real position is on our new head coach, man, because I can't pin you down yet, man.
Pete is flexible.
You've been all over the place.
He's like
I'm
the Dolphins,
all over the
trying
place.
to stay
Look,
multiple.
Listen, which head coach? Because we got 2. Right?
Elaborate.
We only want to talk about Mike McDaniel, but can someone tell me the name of our other head assistant coach?
Oh, you're talking about John Embry over there.
John Embry. He's part of the head coaching staff. So it's nothing that happens from here on out is solely on Mike McDaniel. Nothing he does
Who's
is
the
going to
offensive
be
coordinator, Pete?
It's going to be because
Who's
of
the
him.
OC? Who's the OC?
The offensive coordinator. Who is it?
Who is it?
It's Mike McDaniel calling plays.
That's what he told me. I heard that out of his mouth. He said he's going to be calling plays. That's the OC.
Okay, so he's a head coach that's calling.
You know what I see John Embry as? John Embry's just the first guy in line to get his head lopped off as the reason why things don't work out on the offense. That's what I see.
Technically, he's tight ends coach.
That's what you see. But I see, based on from what I see, is they probably already said this guy needs another leader. All he does is cry and whine. Every time he talks, he's about to cry in every interview. And we don't want to deal with that soft stuff. Pretty soon, who's going to be talking in the podium is going to be the assistant head coach.
So Embry is the HR guy, basically. Is what
he's going to be, bro. This guy's not a leader of men. They needed someone to be a leader of men, so they had to get another head coach.
Listen,
this is a disaster.
I like John Embry, and I see what you're saying, Pete. We're doing co-offensive coordinators now to co-head coaching.
There you go.
I see
this is what's going on.
Pete.
Thanks, Pete. You brought me back down to earth, bro. I knew that's the way I felt, man. You just brought me back down to earth, buddy. Appreciate that.
MC, what's up, brother?
What the hell are we doing with this guy?
Did you get into the podcast?
Color, I didn't want to take the hope away from the fan base. I told y'all.
Anything. Hey, Pete, Elon Musk is going to be disappointed at you, man. You need to go back and get your batteries charged.
I need Dogecoin to take me out of this rate.
Hey, I got a good Super Bowl question for y'all.
What's up, MC? Super Bowl it up.
All right, so this is via the Finstones. What was y'all's favorite Super Bowl halftime performance? Katy Perry, Prince, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, or other?
First of all, I'll start, guys. No.
Janet Jackson.
No.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
If I'm being
Janet
real,
Jackson.
we're not talking about the nipple slip. We're talking about a real performance, okay?
Yes.
Because I no short is nipple in my life.
Come on,
Capitan. Women win.
If I gotta be real, Prince all day. Are you guys fucking?
That's what I was gonna say,
The
man.
heavens,
Prince.
The
If it wasn't for
heavens
Janet, it would have been
opened up.
Prince.
The only, as you were
I'll
watching
go with
the
Michael
Prince
Jackson.
show, as you watch the Prince show,
I got
oh
other.
my God, the only thing that could make this better is if it started raining for Purple
Damn,
Rain,
Chris.
and
And
it
it did.
fucking
You took it, man.
rained. It
And it
rained.
Took the
did
cake,
rain.
bro. And then
Right there
Hey,
in Miami.
Hey, Chris,
It
put up
took
a
the cake.
picture. Put up a picture, bro, of the outfit that he was wearing.
I kind
Bro.
of got a little
If you
bit of what
can,
he
if
had
you can
on.
find
What you
it.
talking about?
Look at the
Honestly,
colors,
got
bro.
part of
Look
it
at the colors.
on.
Which
He's got the
did
purple
Bruno Mars took it. Like
No,
if you want to
guess
talk
what
about
mine is?
performance,
Mhm.
it has to be Bruno Mars. But I think Michael Jackson, because it was all about Michael Jackson when he actually did that.
Yes.
I don't
It
know,
was literally
Bruno Mars, man. He was a little
everything was-
shaky there, Pete.
Listen,
Nah, Bruno Mars killed it, dude.
Bruno Mars,
really
is
killed
good.
it. I think-
You know
Everyone's
mine
good,
was?
good. Sorry, Prince will live another reason for infamy because he's the greatest anywhere he went.
You guys are sleeping. Whitney Houston was the greatest performance.
No.
No.
You guys
No.
are snoozing.
I love when he used to,
No.
but no.
No. Go
it
ahead,
wasn't.
MC. Who you
Hey,
got?
It was Whitney.
So mine's actually
Hands
a
down.
tie between my.
Can't have a tie.
Yes, you can. Michael Jackson and J-Lo and Shakira. That was fucking amazing.
Damn, I think y'all all made good, man. I don't even have to give it. I think Chris had a good take. I think MC had a good take, and I think Pete had a great take, man. Bruno Mars put on a damn good show. Pete is right,
did.
man.
So Bruno Mars
gotta
is
get- I think all-
amazing.
I think y'all all.
Bruno.
But as Prince came out there with the electric guitar, that badass looking guitar at that,
Yeah, it was.
just
Chris, I mean, how the hell can you top? How can you top Purple Rain in the rain?
In
the rain, exactly.
You can't. Now, if it was in a dome and they made it rain, it would have still been amazing. But the fact that the Lord was watching and said, "I need to have my 2 cents," he sprinkled a little love down on there. Y'all-
I gotta say
that's
something.
God's decision. Remember that, boys. You're all taking a side against the Lord. So just be clear.
Well, check this out, though. That is a damn good question that MC brought up, because if you think about it, we could be potentially awaiting the best halftime performance, because it's going to be Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Oh,
And I don't know-
shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless they
Exactly.
reanimate the
Exactly.
body.
I
of
don't know if
Prince.
y'all have seen.
unless they
whole
bring
bunch of-
and reanimate the body of Prince and trot him out there to do that solo again in the rain, there's
That's
just
the
no way.
thing. You just
happen,
put
bro.
me
That's
on.
the
I
only
didn't
thing.
even know who was
You're talking
performing
about.
at the
You're talking about
halftime
not just.
show.
No, it's like Eminem.
You're
Yeah,
talking
Snoop
about.
and Dr.
You're
Dre.
talking about a miracle
All the best
moment
rappers
that can't
think
be
of.
duplicated.
So all the
It doesn't
best
matter.
rappers
Bro,
are gonna be
check
doing
this out. If
It'll
you
live
ever
in
want to
infamy
see,
forever.
if you ever want to see how talented Snoop Dogg is, watch the Howard Stern interview that he did for about an hour, bro, and tell me that is not like one of the best,
I don't know if you
greatest of
noticed
all
or
time.
nothing, dog, but I'm a massive Howard Stern fan. I probably listen to more Howard Stern than anything. Outside of
Stern.
sports.
Private Parts, bro.
Private Parts is good. I'm talking about Howard Stern. Listen, I loved his show. He has evolved into something a little different. His interviewing style now, amazing. In more ways than one, I emulate that around here with the Fins Tailgate. Wicked, I haven't heard a word out you, my brother. What's going on?
No, I was trying to get my word in, but let me tell you what, Prince's performance, and I've seen a lot of halftime performances, but Prince in the rain, hands down, from a performance standpoint, to me was the absolute best.
See, look, Wicked gets it. He's gonna side with the Lord, you guys. Look at you guys all need to go to church tomorrow.
Hey, and not only that, so
y'all
Chris,
built that narrative too good. Y'all are using weather in this. You know what I mean? It sounds perfect. He wins. I agree.
You can't even duplicate it. You couldn't. You couldn't duplicate it. It was a one in a.
It was all natural.
Moment. It was all natural. It really was.
That was beautiful, and the way they didn't even stop it or anything, they let it roll. And Prince,
listen,
Prince just roll with it. That was true.
The hairs on my neck stand up just thinking about it. It was just such an amazing show. They should just play that at halftime some year. They just go, you know what? We can't do it again. Let's just play this, and everyone will be excited.
Just put it on the big screen, right?
Just have it, or do that.
Have Prince's skeleton sitting out there in a chair.
Oh my goodness!
No, now you can do the hologram.
Yes, the hologram.
Right.
That's what I was
There you
going to
go.
say. Do an entire hologram of it, and then they should do it in a cold weather game and make it snow, or do it in a dome and make it snow.
You guys just made me think when the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl, we do a hologram of all the Dolphin legends.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Like in a halftime show.
You know what?
They better upgrade that quarterback position for
By the time we get to the Super Bowl, they're going to be playing the Super Bowl in virtual reality.
Estefan, they were talking about Prince and weather. I was thinking Tua and weather.
Listen, I
don't
think any of you guys know. I actually play the guitar fucking awesome, pretty decent at it. I play a little bit of the bass guitar. I can play the piano. I ain't a piano guy. I can't read or write music, but I can make music. I've always had a God-given gift of that.
You see, I gave up music early on because I
can't give it up. I gotta beat in my head all day.
And I didn't even know how to read the music. I don't know how it was the hardest thing to learn. They scared me in elementary and I ran away.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. MC, you know what's good, dog. You gotta have that flow, man. And if you can find the muscles to do it, it'll happen. My point is,
but it's also an expensive hobby. So I think
so.
it
Once
is.
you own it and got it, it's there forever. I'm
just talking about like you want to go to the studio, do all this mixing and mastering, music stuff, that people won't get.
That's a little different. That's a little different.
That's expensive.
That does get expensive. You ain't lying about that. It does get expensive.
I paid like over $1,000.
Well, I think that's almost like cheating if you're just going to the studio to put your voice. What I was coming from the spec of like actually reading the music and maybe playing it off a piano or a guitar or something. Sure. That's what scared me the most out of doing anything.
Because
I play a mean cowbell, bro. If you want that real.
All
bro,
right.
the cowbell.
I'll keep that in mind for when I make the songs on here.
I do a good wooden fish.
Hey, that's the best.
We'll make it sound like Blue Oyster Cult, bro.
So, but when we're talking about performances and stuff like that, I've gone to a shit ton of concerts, but and he might be a little bit past his prime, but if you guys want to see the best show in a smaller venue, nobody defeats Marilyn Manson. And I know I'm not like a Manson head or anything like that, but I've seen a lot of shows. We're talking the most spectacular song-to-song dress performances. Shit, dude, I literally saw Marilyn Manson in Orlando some years ago.
Listen to what I'm telling you, bro.
And listen, he came out and he did this song, and he's got the full bodysuit thing, and it doesn't even look like a human, and he's on these giant stilts walking around. It was the creepiest shit ever. And then right after that, he came on with, I want to say it was like The Dope Show was the song. He's standing in front of this giant podium, and he looks like, you know, like a Nazi or whatever it was, that gear he had. And he's just fight, and the whole crowd's getting amped. And then right after that, he was back up on the stilts, but he had like this different dress on. And it was like a slower song. And we're inside Hard Rock in Orlando. And he went like this, and the lights turned blue, and it fucking started snowing inside the building. It was the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life. It was real. Like snow came out of the building. I'm telling you, for as far as spectacle and shows go, that was amazing. And so when I make my assessment of the best halftime show, when you get it naturally, you can't defeat that, guys. Sorry. I end the argument there. So.
But is that the type of show that's going to win us a Super Bowl? That's what we really want to know.
Hey, I got to say, I have one of the biggest disappointments.
Color, I can't believe you said that.
That was hilarious, right? That was hilarious.
I told you Stephen Ross is going to give me another phone call tonight.
Right, that was my tribute to your phone call with Ross, Crypto.
It is literally.
Hey, he's finally going to call me again tonight, though.
He needs to get Marilyn Manson in for at least a halftime show so we can get to the Super Bowl. Thank you.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson is our entertainment director.
Yeah. Man, I have a similar take, bro, and they actually have toured together. But one of the best concerts that I've ever been to was White Zombie before it was Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually they would collab, and you know they had those. They were touring together. I kind of wish I would have gone to go see that, but
you didn't see him in Miami Arena with Filter?
I live in Texas. I saw White Zombie over here.
My aunt went to the White Zombie, or no, not White Zombie. She went to Marilyn Manson before he became big, and he used to do crazy shit on stage. And he used to do this bit. This is how people talked about him. This is when he was still kind of underground. They were like, yeah, he smashes a beer bottle over his head and he like cuts himself. And she's like, what the fuck? I got to see this shit. So anyhow, in the concert, he comes up to the part. He's got the bottle in his hand and he hits himself in the head, knocks himself completely out cold.
And it
knocked himself cold on the stage, was out cold, gets up, you know, he's bleeding. They take him off stage. Comes back, finishes the show. She said it was amazing from that point on.
I heard about that, man.
Yeah, my aunt was at that concert and stuff.
All you heard was a clink.
No, she said he went down like a sack of potatoes. It wasn't faked. He landed on his face. He was all busted and bleeding and singing the rest of the time. But if you go to these concerts, the energy, it's kind of like when you go to the stadium. It's like a buzz, bro. When people get together in huge
there
groups,
used to be.
We're all
listen.
It's just
listen to this one. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I know. We hear you.
There used to be around 2012. I forgot the name of the club, but it was in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Right off of Andrews Avenue, pretty much on Broward Boulevard.
The Edge or the Chili Pepper?
And it's across the street, literally from the biggest parking lot right there where valet and everything is. It's right there. But the main thing about this place is if you wanted to go out and see people fight and do the mosh pit, this was it. It was the fun. Like, you guys have no idea. It will be so many people rocking and rolling because I wasn't really into that rock and roll, but it was so fun to go.
Yeah, they had a second. They had a balcony. People would jump off the balcony into the crowd.
So I've been to a lot stuff like that. Exactly. It is so crowded.
at another time, I'll let you guys
and
know
what
about
you
some of the
said
cool concert
and what
stories I
you
got.
said about, bro, they would be crazy, like the craziest. I had to continue to go back because some of the craziest things you've seen,
Hey, Pete.
people
Pete,
cutting themselves.
Pete, the first show I ever went to was at that venue.
I used to go to Coral Sky.
There was
Matter
a
of fact,
yeah,
my guy,
there was a dude like he had his little crew performing on stage, and he was like screaming for hell, and you have to bleed. And I promise you, everybody that was loving that performance were trying to cut themselves in
yeah,
that
you know
show.
what? I
People
ain't about
really,
all
really
that.
trying to cut
I see
themselves.
what's going on. I'm trying
That
to
was
leave.
crazy.
I'm trying to leave. I ain't about all the masochism. That's not really fucking cool. If somebody
Yeah,
wants
that
to do
was
it on
back when
Oh,
they were
but they
the Edge.
switched it up.
That was back
Hey,
before they
where's
changed
Tonk?
their name.
Where's Tonk? He's
Dude, it got
visiting.
crazy, dude.
He's visiting some family right now. Last week he missed it because he's talking to some guy. Guy wants him to go on tour with him up in the Northeast and stuff.
Nice.
So he's gonna start doing some small touring here and there
Sure.
when spring starts coming up and stuff like that. But I'm gonna plug you in with him, man. I think you guys could have some fun, man. You'd have a good time.
We follow each other on Instagram now, so I was like, okay, sweet.
Yeah, he's in Florida right now, actually.
Sure.
So he comes
I
back
just
here all the
I just saw his Instagram story. I was like, oh, she's in Florida, which I don't live in Florida, I live in Georgia, but it's cool.
Yeah. Guys, real quick, we'll be shutting the show down here in like the next 15 minutes. But if you guys haven't gotten into the Tua card contest yet, hold on, let me go ahead and do this, boys. You can get in.
You don't have
for
a
the
Justin
Tua card.
Herbert? We want a Justin Herbert.
I do
Pete,
have a
we're gonna
Justin.
give you a free Tua card, Pete. We're gonna give you an NFT, Pete.
We don't want Tua. We throwing Tuas out now, man.
We're gonna give you an NFT card, a gold NFT card.
So hashtag TFTG
Tua
in the
cards are
comments to get in on the contest. We'll do the drawing here right at the end. I do have a Herbert card.
Be patient with those Tua cards.
But I'm I gotta keep some of these. I got a shit ton of cards, bro. But all right, guys.
Hey, I'm about to go buy that Panini box, bro, if I can find one.
This is a Legacy. I bought a Legacy box. So Legacy's owned by Panini. So this is what you're talking about right here. I bought the whole box.
Yeah.
The best card that I got out of the box. And I opened it up with my son. We sat out here and did it. This is the best card I got out of the box right here. It's a Nico Collins.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, that's
you play for the Texans. Tua's going to be throwing to him soon.
It's
Hey, Mike Gesicki said he'll be throwing 40 times a game. Mike Gesicki said he'll be throwing 40 times a game with Houston.
This actually has a piece of his Michigan jersey on here too, which is fucking dope. So, dude, that was so.
That is
funny.
a nice. Hey, Chris, that is a nice card.
That was so funny. That was the best card I got out of it.
But I got a question to this fan panel right now. I got a question to you guys.
Hold on real quick, Pete. Is it breaking news to y'all that we signed Applebaum? I don't know if we talked about that.
Did we sign him or I thought
the line? I believe they're signing him as the offensive line coach.
We did get. I forget who it was in the comments. I'm looking for it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody said they were looking at him, but I don't know if that's confirmed yet.
Yeah, they're looking. I don't think.
Check the page. Check the site.
I'm gonna check it real quick.
While you're checking it, I had to say, I think my biggest disappointment from a Super Bowl performance wasn't the performance. It's the fact that they didn't come together. Was when Big Boy came out and Andre 3000 didn't show up. Man, that was a big disappointment for me. I gotta say, and I think the worst concert.
He didn't.
No, man, it was just Big Boy and Adam Levine.
Nothing.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, everybody, while we're all talking about some concerts here, so I think I'm a little bit older than most of you guys, and so I grew up, and I'm out here in LA, so for like $4 or $5 in the 80s and the 90s, I could get into the Roxy and all the clubs, on the Sunset Strip.
Oh man, I heard about that place.
Oh, it was It was so bad. I mean, Hollywood you go there now, it's like Disneyland. But back then it was bad. You had to watch where you were stepping so you didn't prick yourself with needles. It was so damn bad.
Gross.
And it was bad. But I can't even remember what year it was, but we show up at the Roxy. I have a buddy of mine that was playing. And so we get there, and there's a couple of these, heavy metal bands. We're like, all right, who are these guys? So we're looking at the bill, and we're like, Guns N' Roses, man. Who the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
And I swear, hand to God, they sat there and played, and there couldn't have been.
You say
more
that
than
was at the
20
Whiskey?
people.
No, he said at the Roxy.
That was at at the Roxy. Yeah, no, but the Whiskey's actually a better venue. But
you just got lucky, drew the lucky card, and got to see these boys while they were young and
yeah. So you could be like in one of their, you could be like the background in one of their early videos for all you know.
That's awesome.
That. Damn.
No, but like,
I don't even know if
some of the early videos have like footage of when they were on that scene. You know what I mean?
That's true. I got to go back and look now.
You better sue them for likeness and shit. Copyright and likeness, sons of bitches. They got some money. They didn't spend all of it on
Get my
crystal
$20.
So all right, guys.
They have. Guns N' Roses has some big hits.
Bro, Guns N' Roses is amazing.
Oh my God,
I think what's his name? They like everybody. The music industry steals all your shit, so you got to be careful. The Applebaum file I have sent to me, guys.
Chris, I know you want to close the show, and,
yeah,
and I'll be the last one to go here, but because I really need this answered, because this can't be the only thing I feel.
What's good, Pete?
Do you guys feel like before we got McDaniel that they were pushing the McDaniel narrative to Miami? Because he was here to save Tua. Well, wasn't that what it was? He's here to.
It was him and
Daboll.
That was Daboll more than McDaniel.
Yeah, no, that only started right after the Giants signed Daboll, and they were like, actually, guys, we really wanted McDaniel. That's the real secret.
Yeah, and he's the one that can unlock Tua.
That's right.
As soon as they said he could unlock Tua, the fan base went nuts.
But before that,
press conference,
it was
right?
Daboll.
If you listen to Chris Greer, right?
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Pete, if you
so we were out looking for a coach that's gonna save Tua, right? And it was Daboll. Right. So the same narrative was for McDaniel. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same thing. If we're out trying to look for a coach, right? And the narrative that the organization for us that they wanted was for someone to come out and save Tua. They need, because Flores ain't it.
But Pete,
and we're supposed to be sold by someone like Mike McDaniel that has never did anything for a quarterback.
Pete, I don't put all of that on the Dolphins. I think that's a fan narrative as well in a lot of ways, that whole coaching search is about finding Tua's best friend in some way.
Because they're so convinced that Flores sabotaged him.
That's right. That's a fan push narrative. Do the Dolphins stand in the way of that? Hell no. They'll let you guys do whatever you want. Listen, it wasn't Flores that wanted Watson. It was the owner. So don't forget that, boys. I don't give a shit how much they turn around. It was the owner that wanted Watson.
Yeah, it was the owner.
Scummy, you missed it, bro. You missed it. I had Alex on earlier. I got a contest right now. You didn't miss the contest. Hashtag TFTG in the comments, guys, to get the Tua card. So get in on there, boys. Make sure to get in. I'm going to be doing the drawing here in a second. Guys, I'm gonna kind of close down with a little bit something that Mike on the mic sent me. It's the Applebaum file, we'll say. This is the offensive line coach that apparently could be coming here, should be coming here. Reports, like you just said. Is he coming? I don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. I can't find anything confirming it, but we do see the Dolphins, and I do agree with you about this. They do leak stuff out there. to get the fan narrative, because then if they leak it out before the hire is announced, they can maneuver it in a way where it'll be received positively by the fans. Let's be
Well,
real.
they're trying to check the temperature also.
They listen.
Chris,
They're gonna. It's just
you know
just
what I mean?
the way it works.
Check
Yes,
the
they want to.
temperature,
That's
I'm
right.
trying to see if
Before
we
they
accept
even
it.
hire someone, they want to take the temperature as well. Let's be real. It's smart business. Smart business. So I'll give you the temperature and the overall outlook on the Applebaum, the O-line coach up there. So he started his coaching career in 2008 as a Central Connecticut State as tight ends. And then from 2008 to 2010, he was with the Redskins at the time, now Commanders, which that I expected. I mean, they could have picked anything. They should have named them the Washington Diplomats. That would have been cool.
Or the Generals.
I was down for the Red Tails for them.
Anything, I don't know,
down
whatever.
with the
They should have,
Generals.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have ever changed the name. Maybe they could have worked it out differently. Anyhow, player personnel and offensive assistant from 2008 to 2010. Then from 2011 to 2012, I don't know, that Washington 2010 team, that's when like everything got washed out by the owner. You know what I'm saying? A lot of change happened then. He went to Miami as a graduate assistant for 2011 to 2012. 2013, Bucknell. I don't even know where the hell that is. Does anyone know what Bucknell is? Offensive line.
Bucknell's a university.
That's the university.
Okay.
It's Bucknell University. I think they're in the northeast.
He already sounds like a real meathead, man.
Yeah.
I think Bucknell is in New York.
Then he went in 2014. He went in 2014 to the Jaguars as an offensive assistant. 2015 went back to college to Southeast Louisiana offensive line coach. Then 2016 and 2016 offensive line coach for Davidson. 2017 offensive line coach for Davidson. But he wasn't the offensive line coach 17. He actually he became offensive coordinator and offensive line coach. So he did double duties. Then 2018 and 19, Townsend. And then now 1920. So this is his first time at Boston College this past year, 2020. So it's not like
sounds like he's bounced around the cornfields as an offensive line coach. Total meathead.
It's I'm sure there's toughness he could teach. I don't know what the connection is to the team. This could just be a name they're throwing out there, guys. So who knows? We'll see. What do you?
I gotta say,
he earned his hurricane badge, so we'll give him that.
Listen, he was here for a little bit.
Graduate hurricane, always a hurricane. You know how it goes, Chris.
I guess as a graduate assisant's kind of different.
That's what my dad
it's
would
not
say.
even a coach when he was here. So
I think is Pete still here? Did he drop out?
He dropped
He
out.
could have been the janitor at University of Miami, and I'd be fine with it.
I gotta say, man, I'm not high on any of the coaching hires. They're not very exciting to me. We're just, like I said, we'll wait and see what's going to happen. But I got to say, I think I got a better take. I think I got to share with you guys I think the worst concert that I've ever been to was Kanye. Was the worst. And I like Kanye. Was the worst concert I've ever been to. But the guy that opened up for him stole the show. So, hey, man, Mac Miller was the guy that opened up for him, man. We went to watch him at the X Games, and Kanye's late, and he's laying down on stage, and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You sure that ain't the show Pete was talking about?
No, actually, I didn't hear none of Pete's take, man. My reception cut out on me, man. And I live for Pete's takes, man. I got to hear what he got to say, man.
Well, you'll have to replay it.
Yeah, all right. So guys, good show today. I'm gonna go ahead and do the giveaway, guys. Real quick, if you haven't gotten in, it's hashtag TFTG.
Hey, real quick, Chris. Final thought, real quick, because I got to run. But I want to thank everybody that turned out last night to watch my show on TD's channel.
Oh yeah, shout out TD.
Yeah,
and I appreciate each and every one of you that went to my channel and subscribed.
You gotta
probably a lot of the similar crowd, but make sure you like and share the Finn's Tailgate video here too. Subscribe to this channel as well, because we're all just trying to build, the community of people with, that love this team. So I appreciate every one of you from last night. Thanks a lot.
Like it up.
Drubatron, do hashtag TFTG in capitals just to be certain, dog. I don't know if that's just to be safe. So, all right, let's see, guys. All right, so let's see if this works. Let me know if you guys see it. Can you guys see it? Hold on, it's not working. Hold on. I'm watching it right now. Shit, guys, I was supposed to share this. Todd Liberto won. Hold on. Todd, you won, dog.
There we go, Todd.
Todd, you won. Sorry, I was supposed to share the screen. Todd, you won, brother. Todd, you're gonna have to get in with me on Twitter. Damn, I wish I should have shared the screen. I fucked it up.
Nope,
guys.
you got to redo it because we didn't get a chance to see it.
Are you serious? No way. Todd won. Todd won, dude. Don't do that. I'm telling you this. I'm not gonna take it from Todd. Dude. I'm not gonna take it from him, man. That's not fair. That's not. I'll give away more cards, guys.
That's a backroom deal, Chris. You can't do it.
I don't even know Todd, bro. What? You know what? It was crazy. MC. It was your name, and then it switched to Todd. I thought you were gonna win, MC. I literally did that. You know what? I'm gonna do it just to show you guys.
Now we know
it's a backroom deal.
Hold on.
You want to do it one more time now?
Hold on. Let me see something.
Man.
Hold on.
That's messed up.
I know, bro. I'm sorry, guys.
Chris,
you know what?
Taking money
right now, you could redo it 50 times. And it would hit on everybody but MC now.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll show you guys exactly how I did it, because
man,
here it is.
I don't
Sorry,
even
guys.
want that to a card, to be honest.
So look, can you guys see the screen now?
We see something. Yeah, we got it.
So here, I'll show you how it works. But I swear Todd won. But watch.
Give it to Papa. Hey, TT. Oh, wait, what?
No, it's Dan Green that won. See? But guys, listen, I swear that Todd won it the first time around. But Dan, I will give you something else, buddy. I got something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll find
that Nico card.
Dan is the real winner.
Hell no, you ain't getting that Nico card, bro.
Oh, my God. You guys got my boy laughing over here.
You ain't getting that Nico card. You out your damn mind, boy.
Hashtag MC got hold.
Hold on, let me see.
Hey, Capitan, I got to drop out.
All right, brother. Take it easy, my man. We'll see you next time, Wicked.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
So Dan Green, thanks. No problem, brother. Dan Green and Todd. Todd, you win the Tua card. Get at me on Twitter or Facebook. Or you can email me at the Fins Tailgate. It literally scrolls across the bottom almost every episode I put out. So if you guys aren't reading the scroll that goes across the bottom, you have done yourself a disservice, because you can always reach El Capitan.
Hey, can you do one more?
Drubatron goes. Look, Drubatron called it Rafflegate.
Rafflegate. He's not a part of Tuanon. He can't be a winner.
That is hilarious, bro.
Hey, Chris.
You want to see it again?
I do. I got a prize. Do one more.
You got a prize?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
All right, so let me explain it. Whoever wins it, give me your email, and I'll give y'all the EP to my Valentine's Day EP. I got 4 songs. It's pretty cool. It's out on February 14th. So whoever gets it, give me your email.
Okay.
All right. So
I'll send 4 songs to you.
Here it goes.
By MCJB, unreleased. Go ahead.
All right, here it goes.
Oh, man.
If it's me, I swear to God.
I will die laughing if it's you.
All right.
CB,
Do you want some music?
CB.
You want some music? I'll give you a Dolphin song, too. That's ready.
There you go. Look at that.
Give me your email, CB.
Okay, so Todd, get in touch with me. Green, get in touch with me. You guys can reach me either send me an email at thefinstailgate@gmail.com or you can find me on Twitter, the Fins Tailgate. That you can direct message me through Twitter. You can go to Facebook and like the Fins Tailgate page, all one word. I do have a page on Facebook that the show streams on and stuff like that. Guys, go back, watch the interview with Alex Donno. I'm gonna let you guys in the back, guys. Hold on. Guys, go back, watch the interview with Alex Donno. Had a great time. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming in and giving some time out of your precious schedule for little old me. And I'm just busting your chops, buddy. We had a great time. Guys, make sure you're going over to the 5 Reasons Sports Network, subscribing to their network, liking the shows. Check out, they do great Heat content. Donno does a show later with the fighting show. It's tons of great content, guys, all over the station. Shout out TD for color. Shout out for Mike on the mic. As you guys know, there's tons of us that do great things and try to share, and we all have different content. And Dougley Too Wrong, love Dougley. Stephen D. Reason does a lot of stuff. I watched Reason the other day. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out all the shows. We got Talk TMI Tuesday at 9, and then right after that we have Mike on the mic with open mic and drop the mic on Saturdays at 10, and then on Thursdays Brandon the Bookie and Big Kev do cash and tickets. And then after that, you guys will be able to find late night color commentary. You have me, El Capitan, all the time, anytime. Look out for the episodes, weekends, weekdays, Fins Tailgate. If you guys want to donate to the show, there's Cash App, there's Venmo. And again, guys, thanks for coming in. And we'll see you here next time on the Tailgate Party. It never stops. Take it easy.